And hello, everyone. Welcome to FSP episode number 120. I hope you're all having an awesome day today. Earlier today, I did have a stream, is kind of talking some games, but also playing some games. So thanks to anybody who checked out that stream earlier today. Also, the video I posted today of 3-Bits Haunted Mike. Make sure you go check that out because creepy, crazy things happening on 3-Bits house. We'll talk to him about it when he gets here in a little bit as well. But I hope you're all having a good day. Thanks for being here on Fun Speculation. And we got some fun things to talk about. I think this is going to be a big week for gaming, big week for Xbox, big week for Game Pass, big week in general, and maybe Call of Duty's biggest launch ever, possibly. So we'll be talking about that and maybe some other things as well. And hey, guess what? We have a returning person here who's he's been able to join us quite a bit, but not in the last few weeks. So it's really good to have you here, Jasper. What's up, man?
It's going pretty good. I'm back home for a week, and then I go off to do my actual job. So, that was fun. Earned some wings to put on my shirt, and then came back home.
Nice. You're gonna be in Colorado, you said, right? So,
yep.
Man, you've been like all over the place.
Yeah, I was in 4 states in 24 hours just the other day, flying to different airports and stuff.
Wow. So you went to training originally in Texas, and then you went to California, right?
Yep. For school.
And then now Colorado.
Yep.
Then now you're in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Right on. That's cool, man. The life.
Yeah, the time zones really hit me this year.
Yeah.
So I came back and I was like, I don't like the 3-hour difference from the West Coast to East Coast. I haven't really experienced that before.
Right.
And like you live in California for 5 months or whatever, and you come back and it's like, I'm waking up at 12 o'clock or whatever. It's like,
yeah. It would be 9 o'clock if it was, it's time zones are weird in general, but they exist. And going over that many states in that short of time and all that stuff's pretty damn crazy. How you doing, Fuzz? What's up, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. Glad to be here with you guys. Man, just been watching social media, go into its usual, I guess, concern mode for Game Pass and Call of Duty and whatnot. But, just enjoying some games. Been playing a lot of Outer Worlds as well as a lot of Starfield, like bouncing back and forth because I'm out of my zombie kick and now into a sci-fi kick. So enjoying those two games. Still playing, Forza Horizon 5. I'm like 810 or 811 cars in. I have more than that now because there's some duplicates, but like unique or, each style of those cars, but without purchasing the extended pack or the DLC cars and stuff. But man, also playing Undisputed still. They did their release, what was that, a couple of weeks ago. Not as happy as I was when it was in early access. Kind of feels like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Like visually it looks a lot better, but for some strange reason, like you could do like the punches make it seem like you're hitting the speed bag kind of thing. So once you start like doing combos on like an AI or even a human opponent, it doesn't feel like you can, or that person can slip or dodge your punch as well to avoid just being waylaid or knocked out real quick kind of thing. So they might need some tweaking, but other than that, just happy to be here.
Yeah, man. Glad you're here as well. As always. Mic check, 3-Bit. Mic check.
Test.
Yeah, it's working. Good? That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
3-Bit. Hey, speaking of watching horror stuff, Fuzzy, you could put some hidden cameras at 3-Bit's house and stay entertained.
What are we watching?
Well, we don't want to watch everything that's going on at 3-Bit's house, right? Newlyweds, right? But yeah, he's got some crazy shit going on. Hey, but yeah, what's up, 3-Bit? How's it going, man?
It's pretty good, man. I've been working all day. Like I literally just got off of work, like technically like right now. So it's been a long day. No ghost sightings since
Did you do
yesterday,
that?
apparently.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I'm
No,
not gonna
no.
say anything. Just keep going.
Well, hopefully there's no ghosts behind me for this show, and I'm doing pretty good, I guess.
What's happening? It's- Dude, your mic is sounding literally like something out of fucking like a horror movie right now, like with the static thing that pops in only a few seconds, like white noise, dude.
It's been acting so weird lately. Okay, let me.
Do you
Yeah.
have your
Let me
phone near
restart.
you?
Yeah, do you have your cell phone like by you?
Somewhere.
If it's in your pocket, that should be fine. Like,
Yeah, it's in
I
my
just know it
pocket.
was like right under the mic. Just throw it across the room.
I don't think it's my phone. All right, 1 sec. Let me reset it.
how does that happen? It's like fine, like most of the time, and all of a sudden it goes into this weird staticky thing. I don't know what's going on, bro. Like, so I joked with 3-Bit we're going to talk about his mic thing today because so just for anybody who watched Xbox Ultimate Podcast last week, right, on Friday, we were all talking and stuff, and 3-Bit was talking about some something gaming or whatever, and then his mic just kind of started disappearing, right? And it sounded like we couldn't even like hardly hear him.
There we go.
And so it was like your mic's gone. And then it came back, and then he was telling us the story. You're telling us a story about how there's like people talking in your speakers and how the stuff keeps happening and it's causing your devices to disconnect and you hear voices and shit. All this crazy stuff. We're kind of having fun with you, like joking around about it, saying you have ghosts or aliens and stuff. But today, so something I've been doing, if you guys have seen, I've been posting some Mavsplanation. Okay, yeah, babe. I've been posting some YouTube shorts and clips of some of our shows and stuff. So I was gonna go post a clip of just our fun conversation that we had joking with 3-Bit. But when I had my headphones on and I was listening to it, like when his mic cut out, I could hear a very loud exhale in my ear, like a breath. And this shit just gave me chills, dude. It creeped me out. I was like, what the hell is that? I even had my wife and daughter come in here and listen with the headphones on. And they were both like, what the fuck? You know? So I posted that video that had that on there. And if you go back and watch the live show, it's at like the 16-minute, 20-second mark, roughly. And you can actually hear it when you're watching it back, but it's nothing that any of us could hear when we were live. Like we couldn't hear it on our end at all. Only on the replay, which is really fucking strange. Anyway, and then now you have this weird static thing. Something's going on with your mind.
Yeah, like I mean, a couple days ago, I heard like I was just on a call, and then I just heard like, ha ha ha, where we're going, click. Remember I said it?
Yeah.
Like, click a lot. And yeah, I don't know. There's some weird stuff is happening. It used to happen in Izzy's room. Like she would randomly hear voices. Like when we first moved in, right? Because this has been kind of happening on and off since we moved here. I remember she like came in. She was basically like, she was freaking out. She was like, I'm hearing voices through like in the bathroom. I was like, what the heck? And it was like, I hear it in the vents. And so I was like, okay, I'm checking it out, and I'm like, okay, I don't hear anything. Like you're crazy, whatever. And then I'm home alone one day, and then I hear the voice. I'm like, what the heck? What is that? And I go and we have like another room next to my room. It's like where my bunny is, and then like sounds are coming out of the speaker, like it's just random noise. Like people talking over like a radio. It sounds like a radio. I like posted like a clip on Twitter, you guys saw it, of like sometimes what happens to my speaker, but that was definitely creepy. And then randomly when I'm like just playing Starfield or playing something, like I'll occasionally just hear a voice. just come through my speakers, which is weird because my speakers are not Bluetooth, it's not Wi-Fi or
They're not
anything.
even plugged in, which is the crazy part.
You know what was crazy? I did unplug it because I was like, this is getting annoying. I'm hearing all these, and it still played through the speaker.
Is it like wireless, like battery thing? Like a battery?
No, it's not. The only way it can power is if I plug it in my computer. It's like a Logitech thing, I think. But anyways, this is weird. It's weird stuff.
Yeah.
That breath sound I just showed Izzy. She was like, "What the heck?"
I was like, "What the hell was that?" Because I don't. Maybe it's not a breath. Maybe it just sounds like a breath, right? Yeah. But it sounds a lot like an exhale, like a, And I was just like, "What the hell was that?" Because we didn't hear that. It would have been obvious, and also weirdly, your mic sounded more like louder on the replay than we could hear at the time when we were live. It was almost like
you only heard it when you replayed the footage, right?
It was almost like the breath that we couldn't hear when we were live was drowning out your audio, right? But on the replay, we could hear both.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. And live, like, I guess all we heard live was like my mic was like just kind of cutting out. Or whatever, but yeah,
and
maybe
it is fucking weird, man.
Maybe I don't know.
and it's like we're not playing on this shit. I know it's October, it's close to Halloween and stuff, but like
that's why Pong was like, "Oh yeah, really, yeah." I was like, "I promise you."
Yeah, so I was shocked. I posted a video of the clip and the conversation afterwards. But yeah, that was just nuts, dude. But hey, I'm glad you're live and you're here.
Still kicking.
And you're actually 3-bit, right? You're not possessed by somebody else or anything?
I'm 4-bit.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah,
this is Jasper here, by the way. I haven't seen Jasper in 10 million years.
I know, right?
Yeah, good to see you, man.
You too.
This happens to see you on Ghost Day, I guess.
Something
maybe
that
Jasper is doing all this. Now I'm thinking about it.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I feel like using some of my resources to mess with people I know.
He has the technology probably to pull that off at his disposal, right?
Wait a minute.
So something else came up in my mind the other day. I was watching y'all's show last night, Pixelated Echoes, and I was thinking that we've never had it settled who's the better Halo player between 3-bit and Jasper. And both of y'all really haven't been playing much Halo lately, right? So
yeah,
maybe like soon it would be really cool to see both of y'all just dive in cold after not playing Halo a lot and just go after it and see who wins.
I mean, I thought we already established that, but
yeah, did we? Did we have a contest? Did y'all play?
I don't know if we ever played Halo, but we know we played Overwatch 1v1s for like.
Oh no, he wrecked me in Overwatch. And I was stubborn too. I'm like, I'm gonna win the next match. Overall, I'm like, but to be fair, like I suck at almost every other game, multiplayer wise, besides Halo, for some reason. Like Halo is like my baby. That's the game I'm good at. But every other game, it's like questionable. Like I could be good. I try to bring over my Halo skills to like Overwatch, but it doesn't always work.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. Every other game. I'm like 3-bit, where are you? I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway. So speaking of competitive multiplayer games, we have just a small game launching this week. Have y'all heard of this franchise called Call of Duty?
What?
Yeah, apparently it's a thing, Yeah, Xbox and Microsoft went out and they spent $70 billion to buy this company called Activision Blizzard that makes a game called Call of Duty. And a lot of people were afraid that they were not going to be able to play Call of Duty anymore because like is it even going to be on their system anymore? Is Xbox going to take it away and stuff? There was all this drama. Anyway, it was like this crazy thing going on for a while. I don't know. Anybody remember this? Anyway, it's something that happened. So But yeah, this week, this game comes out. It's just this little game. Yeah, no, for real. Like, this is biggest game every year, pretty much, for the most part. Call of Duty, and this is Black Ops 6 launching on, was it on Friday?
The
On the
24th is early, 25th is his actual date.
Okay. So we're getting kind of like the first really all-inclusive global launch in a long time for Call of Duty, where it's like everybody gets it really kind of right at the same time, roughly. And we're going to get it on PlayStation. The campaign's going to be there right at the same time as multiplayer, all that kind of stuff. Not like this drawn-out, like, week tiered release thing that they've been doing for a long time. And also, this is the first Call of Duty now that's going to be in Game Pass day one after the big acquisition from Microsoft of ABK. And yeah, I was wondering what you guys think about this launch, how it's going to sit with the all-time launches of Call of Duty. I think it's pretty clear to me that this is going to be the biggest Call of Duty launch of all time. And maybe that's... maybe almost every year is the biggest Call of Duty launch of all time. I don't know, but I think by a large margin, this will be the biggest Call of Duty launch of all time. I'll say that by a large margin. Jasper, since you're back, you're also very good at Call of Duty. I can attest to that. Playing in your fucking crazy lobbies that get me murdered. But yeah, are you first off, you looking forward to it? And what do you think it's gonna be like at launch day?
So I bought the $30 upgrade thing or whatever on the Xbox PC store today. Started downloading that, so I am looking forward to that. The thing is, like, I'm in a weird spot where, like, I've been kind of out of the gaming sphere for a while, so like I haven't seen like the actual community reception along with this game. So I don't know if it's mostly negative or positive out there. I can't really say for that.
It's strangely positive. Like, for a Call of Duty, like the only like negative conversations that are going on are like about Xbox, and will PlayStation benefit more from Call of Duty than Xbox, and weird stuff like that. But like about the game itself, people have been really positive and receptive to the gameplay and the beta that they had, and then also the marketing. People are loving the marketing as well. So people are hyped.
I've seen a lot of the replacer stuff, and a lot of people are sharing those. So yeah, I guess I've seen that where like people are always sharing the replacer stuff because the trailers are just so good for that. Like where they did the Diablo thing or whatever, and he was like the chick on the boat. That was real funny. But yeah, it has like, from what I heard, like the zombies is supposed to be pretty good again. Like they're kind of going back to round-based stuff. So a lot of the original Zombies fans, I guess, were kind of hyped, at least early on, like when it first kind of got announced, is what I heard. And then the multiplayer stuff, I'm kind of still... It's just when I played the beta, like I had shit internet, so like it didn't feel as great. But again, I think it's just because I had shit internet. So the multiplayer, it seemed fun from what I played, and I always liked the Call of Duty campaigns, so I'm looking forward to that as well. But
yeah, right on, man. About you, Fuzz? What are you sitting on this launch for COD? Do you think it's going to be the biggest by a large margin?
I think as far as when it comes to player count, yes. I think when it comes to people complaining about how it's a make or break for Game Pass, yeah, it'll probably be big on that as well, because we already have people claiming that this is going to be the deciding factor.
Yes, do or die, yeah, that kind of stuff.
But I think this will definitely do much better than what Modern Warfare 3 did. I think it will outdo Modern Warfare 2, and that was one of their bigger launches in a while. So I think this one's definitely going to be up there. They'll have the numbers as far as players day one. I think the big thing is everybody's going to be real curious to see how many new subscribers are joining Game Pass, and how many copies sell, which my gut is that this is going to do 20 million copies in less than 2 months. And it may not seem like a lot, but I think they'll have somewhere between 2 to 3 million Game Pass subscriber numbers added to the 35, 37-ish range that we've been hearing, for the past year or so. So I think it will be huge for Activision and for Xbox in general. But kind of looking forward to some of that rumored DLC or skins that they have. As far as I guess Chief is going to be one of them here soon, and might have some other Xbox IP stuff possibly, kind of cross pollinating with Call of Duty. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, the thing you're talking about with Chief, that was supposedly it was a collab skin or something that was going to possibly be in Modern Warfare 3, and they put it on the back burner possibly for Black Ops 6. So we'll see if that happens. I have a good feeling it'll probably happen at some point. Don't know if it'll happen like right away or anything like that, but I think somewhere along the lifespan of Black Ops 6 we'll probably see that happen. What about you, 3-Bit? Biggest launch ever for COD?
Yeah, it's coming at a good time for me, just because I've been away from the Call of Duty franchise for quite some time. It wasn't till Black Ops. I mean, the last Call of Duty game I really played was Black Ops 2. Until recently, I started jumping into Warzone a little bit. There was like some wrestling characters like Rhea Ripley and stuff. That was around the season I kind of been jumping in on, and I really love the gameplay. Like, it was addicting for a minute. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Yeah, I think it's a good time to kind of jump back in, just because it's been like a minute since I've played consistently on Call of Duty, and just the features they've announced at that showcase where they talk about the Omni movement. I think they're trying to adapt that to one of the, I guess, Warzone, maybe. How they describe the story mode, the campaign, and things like that. It just seems like really interesting and fun. And they seem to actually like really care about this one. I know, like, for a lot of people, they're like, oh, I wish they added this mechanic and this mechanic. I mean, it's been a while since I played, so I'm probably going to just be like, oh, well, it's cool to me, I haven't been that much invested in the franchise, but yeah, I mean, why not? It's in Game Pass. It's a good time to check it out. A lot of people seem hyped for it. Even people like hardcore, like Call of Duty fans, are like, wow, I'm excited with a lot of the features they're adding, whether it's like multiplayer features, gameplay features, things that fans have been asking for seem to be in this game. So yeah, definitely going to check it out. I think it's cool to also see this is technically the first Call of Duty that Xbox is marketing with Game Pass like this. So we're getting to
your Game Pass point. Like, I know, like, a bunch of my friends that I used to play Call of Duty with all the time, like on the Xbox One and 360 era, like the last few years, they just haven't even bought it because they're tired of Call of Duty and stuff. But they're going to play it because they have Game Pass.
Exactly.
So, like, you may see less actual sales, but you'll see more players just due to Game Pass.
Yeah, and you might see more subscriptions too. So it's like, it kind of, I see game industry biz and stuff talk about it, like they're like oh, this means Sony's going to get more sales, and I'm like, I don't. First off, what? Like, I don't see how it's a negative for Xbox in a lot of scenarios. Like, oh, sorry, more people subscribing to Game Pass. Like, that's what they kind of want. And number two, like, the most sold games on PlayStation is always like a Call of Duty, a Minecraft, anyways. So that means at the end of the day, Xbox wins, and then Xbox wins. Like,
yeah,
like what?
I've heard these people 3-Bit like have a double speak on the same like paragraph of their conversations before. It'll be like, Xbox needs big games for Game Pass, and the Xbox and Call of Duty has to move the needle and get tons of subscribers for Game Pass. Otherwise, it's do or die for Game Pass. On the other side, also, Xbox needs to sell lots more copies of Call of Duty because if they don't sell a ton of copies, then it's not benefiting them.
Yeah.
So which do you want? Do you want people to sub to the Game Pass service and play it that way? Or do you want people to buy the game? I'll give you the secret, motherfuckers that don't understand this stuff. Xbox is cool with either, right? And the people that are going to play Call of Duty are either going to buy it or they're going to sub to Game Pass. They're not going to say, it's in Game Pass, so I think I'm going to pass this year. The people that were going to play it are either going to buy it or they're going to sub to Game Pass on Xbox.
So they want you to do both. They want you to sub to Game Pass, but not use your Game Pass benefits and just buy the game.
But there are people that will do that too. There are people that will do that too. And then there are also people that are going to buy it on PlayStation. Will there be more sales on PlayStation? Yes, of course there will, because there's a lot more consoles out there for PlayStation. And one of the main games and the top game every single fucking year on PlayStation is, guess what? Call of Duty. Is Xbox disappointed in that? No, that's why they're putting the game there, and they signed a long-term agreement to keep putting the game onto PlayStation. They were never going to take it away from PlayStation. This is what they want. This is what they want. They want people to buy the game. It's not a negative for people to buy it on PlayStation.
I just don't understand like what people are kind of complaining about, because it's in the end you're getting more options to buy the game or rent it via Game Pass or whatever. In the end, you're getting more options and you're getting more value at the end of the day if you want to play Call of Duty, you know. So I don't really see this is the thing I always talk about, where a lot of people be pocket watching Xbox. Like they are so concerned with how Game Pass can be a success that they completely ignore the actual value, intrinsic value on it. Where they're like, oh, well, how could they possibly put Call of Duty on Game Pass? Like, that doesn't seem like it's sustainable. That there's no way they could do that and get away with it and stuff like that. And I'm just like, why are people's mindsets to that instead of like, oh, cool, I have Game Pass, I can play Call of Duty via Game Pass, you know? I feel like the value side of things in the gaming media, because they're so biased towards Sony, it goes to this thing where they question the value, most likely because it's not their preferred platform. So they constantly just question, like, well, how is Xbox going to do that? You know, and I'm just like, who cares? They did it. It's there. You know,
they're always say, like, have this mentality of, but what's the catch? Right, there's a catch here, right? I'm getting fucked somehow. So this is bad. Somehow this is bad. I'm going to look into this, right? And like, but maybe if this happens, then this other bad thing could potentially happen. You know what that's called? That's called negative speculation. That's like forecasting and foreshadowing, like possibilities that may never come. You're always looking for the worst possible case scenario. Worried about the future of this and that, instead of just relishing in the awesome deal that you're getting today. And guess what? If they're making that decision, they're a business. They're doing it for a reason, to make money. Mm-hmm. They are either going to get more Game Pass subscribers, and if they don't, guess what? They get more sales. They win either way because they have the product. And they also have the product everywhere else. And not only that, more people are going to have access to it than ever before. Because not only is it also going to PlayStation, it's also going to be available in the cloud. And then in the future, when the Switch 2 eventually comes out, you're going to start seeing Call of Duty go over there on a Nintendo as well. And will it have a crazy adoption rate on Nintendo platforms? Probably not. But you got all these handheld devices out there too. These little PC handhelds, with people be playing them on that. It's on Steam. It's on Xbox. It's on PlayStation. Everybody will have the ability to get access to Call of Duty. And one of the ways is via Game Pass, right? So for me as a gamer, I'd celebrate that. It's awesome because I already have the service because of all the other games that I was already subscribed to the service for. Like, I was a happy subscriber to Game Pass back in the Xbox One era. There was a lot less to look forward to then. And we have so much more to look forward to now. Literally, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, followed by Stalker 2, Flight Sim, and Indiana Jones, all within like several weeks of each other now, like within a 2-3 month period of time. It's absolutely insane. And then you go into 2025, it's even more. So I'm not concerned about, is this going to kill a Game Pass? Is this going to kill Xbox? Is this do or die? Is this all that? Like, hey man, I'm fucking play the game. Like it's going to be available to me. And this is the first year ever that I'm going to get to play Call of Duty day and date on launch, and I don't have to buy it. That's awesome for me. I'm celebrating that, dude. Like, as a gamer, that's cool. And if I end up saving the money, guess what? I can use that and buy another game.
That's the one thing that Microsoft does need to fix, though, is the cross-buy for Blizzard games. Or just like it's weird on PC. Like I bought the $30 Vault upgrade for Call of Duty on PC, but I don't have it on Xbox because it's still tied to the BattleNet thing or whatever.
Yeah, they're like been really slow on implementing all that stuff on the ABK things, and I don't know if it's like because of numbers or because of tech or what the reason is, but there's also some other games in from some of the other acquisitions that have done. I think like some of the maybe ESO or Fallout 76 as well. I'm not sure exactly on all of them, but there's some games that are still like that. So they got to definitely work on that. I'm going to always promote cross-buy. It's like a hell of a thing. Now, if for them to have a new launch without that, like do you still get cross-buy if you buy it on the Xbox PC store and console?
That's where I bought it on the Xbox PC store. Because like I'm not gonna have my Xbox next week, so I was like, well, I'm gonna be playing on PC, so I might as well buy it there. But then I was like, I'm gonna download my Xbox since I'm at home, and it's like, oh, I don't have that.
So it says it isn't. The cross-buy isn't working for Call of Duty on PC and Xbox.
I have to rebuy the Vault Edition on Xbox.
That's garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's garbage. They got it. Yeah, that's I call that.
But I think
they got to fix it.
It may be due to like their in-game, like because I don't think your money transfers over from the PC to the Xbox version either. I think your money, like your in-game currency, I think it only transfers from Xbox to Xbox, not Xbox to PC.
Oh yeah, maybe it's a tech thing where they had before they got acquired. Right. They still have that stuff in place. Yeah, they got.
Yeah, it probably like an Activision thing with this tech they're using has to be changed or something to make it work. That's the kind of shit they got to do though, right? That's the kind of shit they got to make work. Let's get to some super chats here real quick because Brett Bingham said we have to get to him because we're cowards. I will get to it right now. Let me make sure I didn't miss any before that one. All right, so Brett Bingham with a $5 super chat says the Xbox handheld should be the Series E for everywhere. Then Xbox can use the Sega style marketing edge. Xbox because sex sells. SEX, yeah, baby. I added the last part. Yeah, Brett. They could. Yeah, I remember we were joking about that before about the another edition of an Xbox coming out called the E. That would fit within the S and the X. Yeah, that would be interesting advertising. I don't know if you would see Microsoft or Xbox go that way, just because of the company that they are and what they how they do. But it would make for great commercials. I'll tell you that.
Maybe in the 90s or something like that.
Yeah.
I do wonder what the next Xbox would be called.
Who was it that like licked a PSP or something? Like you have one of those like for the Xbox handheld.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah, remember that famous thing. Brett Bingham also with a $5 super chat says, "You know, Xbox did that. I bet the sales of the console would skyrocket as well as Pornhub usage on Xbox."
They did what? What is this referring to?
Are you? Do you have another tab open where you're watching something else questionable right now, Brett? Like your super chats are a little strange. Just saying. Maybe you're feeling some kind of way right now. I don't know.
Well,
it's interesting.
He's still got more coming. So,
more? Okay. Oh, geez, Brett. All right. Well, first off, let's take a break from Brett's. J-Mac, member for 24 months. A shout out to J-Mac. Says, finally, that 61 million matter Call of Duty for the win. Thanks, ponies. Yeah. Dude, it's going to be big. right? It's going to be a very, very
People always
big deal.
underestimate Call of Duty. Like, you know, it's already come out before and whatever. People are not going to buy this year, and every single time, even the worst rated Call of Duty still sells like bananas. So
Yeah.
it's going to be very interesting.
And then, Brett Bingham with another very generous $5 super chat says, 2025 Xbox commercials. PlayStation doesn't matter. Have SEX. Yeah.
Yeah,
we can see.
I do wonder what the next Xbox is going to be called.
Well, there was like a banned, I think, Xbox commercial like back in the early 2000s from like Japan or whatever, where it had like a person like in labor and they like shot out a baby across the sky. I think it was
is that Xbox?
They don't get old as they like and then eventually like they turn into a skeleton.
Yeah, something like that.
Straight into the coffin.
Right. This is going to be a big deal, and there's a lot of people that have always been saying, talk to me when they have a big game and hitting Game Pass day and date. Well, all right, we're here talking to you, bro. What you got to say now? Right,
biggest game every year.
Right, and they've already had huge games hitting Game Pass day and date, but this is like the biggest game, right? Number one seller usually every year, and there's no question about that. But it's still not good enough for a lot of people because it's like, I'm not excited because it's Call of Duty. Like, okay, well, that's cool. It's not for you. It's fine. Then you have people like, but it's gonna sell more on PlayStation anyway, so it doesn't matter. Well, that's why Xbox owns it. They're gonna make more money because of that, right? Yeah, but it's gonna sell less on Xbox because of Game Pass. Like, well, that's just gonna possibly lead to more Game Pass subscribers. And all right, well, yeah, but then if they have more Game Pass subscribers, then it's not gonna sell. Well, that's just what you said, and I just told you that it's gonna be more Game Pass subscribers. So why are you just going back with the counter argument? Like, you just like. This is ongoing conversations all the time, and always just whatever the way they can twist things to make it seem like some kind of a negative is what they're going to use. Mm-hmm. You could go in there and listen to an argument and make the same argument as a positive, and they'll go there and make the opposite argument that you were saying before as a positive, and they'll turn it into a negative somehow just because like they want to make it like a opposite conversation and stuff. Yeah. Like it's just the way the mentality and the community works a lot of times. But like. You see a lot of that going on right now, but this is legitimately one of the biggest deals in gaming in a long time, just because this is the first time you had a game of this magnitude hit a subscription service, right? Day and date. So that's a game changer in some ways, right? But multi-platform game as well. It's gonna also, you've seen the marketing. People were worried about, well, Xbox is going to ruin the marketing for Call of Duty. They've gone like way above and beyond. Obviously, ABK's marketing team came along for the ride, right? Because the replacer stuff they do. I saw the motherfucker on the field of the LA Rams. He replaced the replacer guy. Replaced the mascot for the LA Rams at the fucking football game this past weekend. He was literally on the field. They had it like on the like Jumbotron thing or whatever on the field, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm the mascot for the LA Rams." It's like, what the hell? It's just like they're crazy, man, like the amount of stuff they're doing. So I think the marketing's working. I think heavily pushing Game Pass. For anybody that says they weren't going to market it with the Game Pass, this has been nothing that you've seen other than heavy marketing with Game Pass. The Call of Duty account on Twitter is just adding Xbox like all fucking day today, just with just random posts about some crazy shit. Heavily marketing, pushing Xbox, pushing Game Pass. And this will have a cumulative effect for those players. It's the same cumulative effect that happened with PlayStation. It will have a cumulative effect, and you will have more players playing on an Xbox. Not saying more than PlayStation, but people will start playing more or pay attention to the Xbox brand because of the togetherness of the brands with Call of Duty and Xbox, right? And we got Brett Bing with another $5 super chat. Says the super chat was about PS users with their high Pornhub viewership would migrate to Xbox since the only thing they play with is their joysticks.
Or Twitter.
But it's also because they took away their internet browser on PlayStation.
But yet they still find porn.
Yeah, that's it. But I still don't understand that. They're like, oh, we'll find a way.
Whatever it
Where
takes.
there's a will, there's a way.
Apparently, they don't have high-end PCs. So anyway, I do think it's a huge deal. Jasper, are you going to be able to play? Are you going to be busy? You going to play day and date?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at home for a week. I mean, I got a little bit of work to do, but it's probably not going to be that much. So like, I'll get to play this weekend. You know?
Right on. Cool. What about you, Fuzz? You playing on launch day?
I'm gonna try to at least the campaign. May not do the multiplayer day one, but the campaign's definitely gonna be what I jump into first. But I just wanted to say something real quick as far as like you know the complaining is false or fake when they went from just like less than a week ago complaining about the dollar deal disappearing for Game Pass. It's like, well, wait, if you're so concerned about Call of Duty and Game Pass, then why were you concerned a week ago about the dollar deal? Like, wouldn't that be against what you were concerned about to begin with? Like, which is it? Do you want Game Pass for $1, or do you want to buy the game and hope that everybody else buys the
$1
game?
so they could play?
Like they're just mad that they couldn't get the deal.
That's a good point, because they were going to say they weren't going to make enough money because of Game Pass, but then they're saying, but they're to have the dollar deal, so they need new subscribers. Like, yeah, that's one of the double speak things I'm talking about, because they act like concerned for the company, right, and how it's going to cause them to fail, or this is do or die for Xbox, do or die for Game Pass, and all this like big shit, right? This is not that at all, right? It's going to be a huge successful game launch as well, but yeah, they'll literally contradict themselves in the same show or the same sentence, right? You playing day and date 3-bit?
When does it come out?
25th, Friday.
Yeah.
I think you can do the New Zealand trick though and play it a day early.
On the 24th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will play that day and date. I had to think about it because like this week I was gonna play a bunch of like horror type games, and I'm like, that's not a horror type game, but I think I'll make some room.
Oh, it has zombies mode. You can play zombies mode.
Oh, true. Yeah. I was like trying to theme out my week as like I'm only allowed to play horror type games.
If you do like Halloween themed content and horror themed content, I'll tell you, like, Call of Duty maybe does the Halloween theme better than anybody else as far as transitioning their game into like a completely new thing around that month. Like, their whole maps that they have, they changed them to look all spooky and shit. They'll have all these horror skins and stuff. Like, they have like Jigsaw and shit in there right now, and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff they do. They have like jump scares. They change all the modes and everything, man. It's like really, really, really cool. They always go above and beyond.
That's cool. I wonder if Halo's gonna have any like Halloween content. I remember they used to like get some skins. Oh, they do right now?
They have like the flood stuff.
Yeah, they have some stuff that's Halloween themed. It's not as like going out there and as drastic as like, you know, Call of Duty. Fortnite does a lot of stuff too. Like Fortnite and Call of Duty probably do it better than most games. But yeah, Call of Duty does it the best for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, then I'll definitely check it out on release date.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that'll transition to like, because with Black Ops though, because it's like the launch, you know, it's still 2 days before Halloween or 6 days before Halloween. So I don't think it'll be in the Black Ops multiplayer, but it's
but probably Warzone. It will,
yeah. The Black Ops 6 Warzone stuff, I would assume probably doesn't come out till like December, early next year sometime. That's usually like they usually like wait a month or two before they drop like the Warzone for the new game. So you'll still be playing Modern Warfare 3 Warzone. And then, and I don't know if your skins are going to transfer over. I don't know if they've said anything about that, but
yeah, well, I don't know if it'll be like Modern Warfare 2 and 3. That's pretty much like the same game in a lot of ways, right? So, do y'all think is Black Ops bigger than Modern Warfare now?
I was looking at like you were talking about like is this going to be like the biggest selling Call of Duty or whatever. I was looking at the previous like records or whatever. So Black Ops 1, it was Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, and then Black Ops 2 were the top 3 sellers. I think though that Modern Warfare 2019 may have this was like old data, so I think Modern Warfare 2019 may have took one of those spots. But usually Black Ops, it's seeming like sales-wise is usually bigger than the Modern Warfare series.
Yeah, I know a lot of the Call of Duty players prefer the more like fast-paced run and gun style for the Black Ops games and stuff. So, this is definitely going to bring that. Like the beta was awesome. I had more fun playing this beta than I have any other Call of Duty beta. Like just period, right? And that makes me more excited because I've seen before where Call of Duty games are actually pretty drastically improved from the betas to launch, but also knowing how fun and different it felt, like, and how good the maps were, makes me really curious about the other maps, right? Like, I really want to play all the maps and try them all out because the maps that were in the beta were all good. Like, I didn't have a problem with it. I was like, oh, this map really sucks, or like this is bad, or whatever. Yeah. They had the smaller maps, which are not usually my cup of tea, but like most players love that shit, right? But the bigger maps and more normal size maps are fucking amazing.
Yeah, I looked it up that your skins won't transfer over.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I think that was just a Modern Warfare 2 and 3 thing.
I'm fine with, because it's like, I don't know, like playing Call of Duty nowadays, you just see like fucking anime characters and random other characters running. It's like, it's just like not Call of Duty to me anymore. Like, I wish they would stick to a little bit more. Like, I know it's not realistic, but like some realism. Like, I don't want to see fucking Shrek running around shooting people with Cardi B.
Kate uses a Nicki Minaj skin, and I usually use Skeletor. So we're running around as Nicki
Minaj, Rhea Ripley, or Skeletor.
It's crazy though, man. Like it is, dude. But like those skins. So yeah, Google Post says the Warzone skins moved over. So yeah, because Warzone kind of is its own continuous thing, right? But something else I've seen today, as well as people latching on to the install size for Call of Duty as if it's like a new problem. Like, I think it was Brad Sams. He was like, "Oh, there's a problem with the Series S because if you have the entire other Call of Duty thing installed, you can't fit you can't fit Black Ops 6.
Modern Warfare 3.
Well, so, yeah, we already knew Modern Warfare 2 was fucking huge. We knew Modern Warfare 3 was fucking huge, and we know Black Ops 6 is going to be fucking huge. But you're acting like it's a problem because you can't fucking fit all three of those and Warzone and all the extra content shit from all of the games on there at the same time. Yeah, it's a problem that each individually, like how big those fucking games are. But like if you legitimately pay attention to the installs and stuff, you don't have to install 3 massive fucking games, all the campaigns, all the multiplayers. Like
they've at least started giving you like options, like you can install the campaign, and not every game does that, so it's pretty cool what they've been doing. That. But I mean, I've been talking about this for years. The fact that their tech, I don't know what it is, but their engine, just the way it handles data, is way too much. They need to figure that out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's pretty damn ridiculous.
I mean, they've messed with it before. With like, that's why they added like the streaming system. Like, you stream asset, kind of like the way Flight Sim does it, where like you can stream in-game assets. Like, if you have a good enough internet, Call of Duty's messed with that to try to reduce file size, but I don't know. It's just they just don't compress their files or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I was thinking it was the texture, but no, they have like a texture pack and things like that. I'm like, there's just something where if they're using like 4K textures, they're just using up all that file. That 4K texture is probably like 500 megabytes or something. But they need to figure that out.
I think if anything, they just need to get rid of the whole Call of Duty launcher thing as well, and just have each individual games kind of stand alone. Have Warzone also be its own separate thing. I understand they want everybody to see all of them there to, always have them in front of their faces and want to buy stuff and all that kind of things. But
they could do what like Call of Duty Mobile does. Like Call of Duty Mobile, like you can download all the skins, but you don't have to. Like if you don't download all the skins, then everyone just runs around as default skins. So like if you that's an option you can have. Like you could just start doing that on console if
Yeah.
like, people really care about space.
A game adaptation newscast. No, it's not 415 gigs. No, that's like probably the size of all the Call of Duties, all the multiplayers, all the campaigns, and Warzone, all the content packs, all that shit. Like, you don't have to install Modern Warfare 2. Like, you need to like pay attention to the checklist on the installs. Just don't like go and install the whole Call of Duty package. Like, and you also can choose if you are a multiplayer only gamer, you only want to install the multiplayer. If you're a campaign only player, you say I want to play the campaign first. Like once you beat the campaign, I uninstall that shit. Yeah, and it takes up a lot of space, right? So, usually the things that I have installed will be the current multiplayer that I'm playing in Warzone, right? And then the content packs for it, and that's usually like still ridiculously big. It's like 200 gigabytes, something like that, right? For both of those. But if I took Warzone away, then it would be about the same size as other big games, like 140 gigs, something like that, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Like NBA 2K comes out about that size. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like 120 gigs, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. There's a lot of big games that come out are ridiculously bloated. I will say, like, for the amount of content that Call of Duty gives you, it does make a little bit more sense for the size there, because they give you the campaign, they give you the co-op, right? They with the zombies mode, then they also give you multiplayer. So in that essence, like, yeah, it does make some sense, but it would be nice if they could fix it. The updates are also fucking massive. That's something else that I would like to change.
Also, can you fix it where every time you start the fucking game, you have to restart the fucking game?
Right.
That's pretty annoying. I had to do that a couple times. It may have something to do with quick resume. Like, I love quick resume.
No, it's because like Call of Duty's like, oh, your game needs to update, and then it does like a 5-second update, and then restarts. It's like, thanks.
Sports games all do that shit too. Like, it's something with the mainly online service games that do that. Like, is like you got to back out to the main menu. But every fucking time you launch the game, it does that the first time. It's like, why didn't you just do this when I fucking launched you?
Yeah, it's definitely weird. I guess technically Call of Duty was the ID Tech engine. I'm trying to remember. It was the ID Tech engine modified till eventually it became its own engine, right? It was like ID Tech 3 or something like that. Something really, really old.
And then Modern Warfare made their own version of it, or Infinity Ward made their own version of it, and then Treyarch made their own version of it. So then they had like two different modified engines that didn't work together. And now Treyarch's finally going over to the engine that Infinity Ward made for the newest Call for 2019. So they're on the 2019 engine.
Yeah.
And then they're using that going forward for like Black Ops. Okay.
They forced Treyarch to use that so they could make Warzone stuff.
Yeah. And this is also the first Call of Duty that's like had a 4-year dev cycle also. So that's gonna be interesting to see. I think it'll feel pretty complete. Buzz says if the launch is the problem, Ubisoft is going down that road moving forward with the Assassin's Creed 2 now. Wonder if they're going to be bigger than average too. I don't like. First off, Ubisoft has actually really good file size optimization specifically for their games. But regarding the launcher itself is not a problem. It's the fact that it entices you to install a bunch, all this other shit and all these other games, right? And the companies want you to do that. They want you to have your entire hard drive taken up by their fucking game, right? They don't want you to spend time on other games. They want you to launch Call of Duty and see, hey, here's Call of Duty, here's Warzone, here's Call of Duty this, here's Call of Duty that, so you see all these. And for them, it's more obviously beneficial to have everything in one place, right? I just don't think it benefits them more than it does the gamer. They'll pass it off as like a convenience feature to have. We're doing this for you, so you can have it all in one place. Yeah, but for me, it just causes a headache because like you have to go and do all the fucking check boxes and make sure you don't install stuff. It just adds an extra step. I'd rather just look at my library, see which fucking title I want, and pick it and install it, and it's just done, right? But anyway, that's not the world we live in, I guess. And more companies are switching to the launchers and stuff as well because it benefits them. That's what they're going to keep
Someone in
doing.
our chat mentioned, hey, the Master Chief Collection, that maybe that's something they're kind of...
Well, the Master Chief Collection is kind of the same concept because you house all the different games in one collection, so you can uninstall and pick and choose what you want to install and uninstall.
Yeah.
Right.
It's cool. It's like a hub, so it is a cool idea. I think it's just the fact that their engine sucks with compressing. It kind of makes the hub less appealing.
There's a very different thing though about Master Chief Collection, other than what Call of Duty and some of the other games are starting to do with this, is that Master Chief Collection was sold as one entire complete package.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they've even added to it over time, but you didn't have to pay for stuff unless it was like extra content that was like cheaper and stuff like that. They weren't really selling you, hey, we're going to sell you Halo, then we're going to sell you Halo 2, then we're going to sell you Halo 3, then 4, right? Like they didn't do that. It's like just, hey, Master Chief Collection, then hey, if you don't want to keep everything installed, you don't have to, you know. So
yeah, sure.
That's the way it's a little different. But Call of Duty is like, hey, you bought Warzone 2 or you bought Modern Warfare 2 this year? Hey, keep it installed and add on Modern Warfare 3 to that. Right? Hey, why don't we add on now Black Ops 6 to your 300 gigabytes you already have there? You know, that's what they want you to do. But you don't have to, Brad Sams. You don't have to do that. You can uninstall your games.
It even asks you, like, when you go to download it now, I'm pretty sure, like, what do you want to install?
Yeah. That's like picking, like, 3 or 4 other big games and complaining about the fact that you can't fit them, right? It's the same problem. It's just about the specific games sizes. But it's not a problem because you can't do the whole Call of Duty collection all at once. Anyway, so
just get one of those series Seagate cards at that point.
Yeah, there's an option. I'm
get
sure Brad can swing it, right?
Oh yeah,
one of the reasons
he can afford it.
It's one of the reasons why they eventually, I feel like, just gave up putting games on disc because it could only hold so much, anyways. Like I think a Blu-ray disc holds like 50 gigs. So
yeah, but he's not. First, also the other issue I had is it was like painted as like a negative for the Series S, which is like the more budget console. First off, right?
Yeah.
So you're again, people always find a way to target like Series S in some kind of way.
Series S's fault.
Yeah. So like, if you want more storage, get the console that has more storage or buy more storage for it. Like,
if anything, Series S is helping them because they have to reduce their file size to get it on that bit.
That's true. That's true. Right. Otherwise, we'd be seeing 300 gigabyte version of this
probably would be
game.
even more.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, we've talked about this a lot. It would be nice if they optimize their file sizes the most, but it's not the Series S's fucking fault. Like, it's definitely not. But yeah, I'm excited. You guys are excited. So I'm going to be playing day and date. Kate will too, and super happy that we don't have to fucking buy the game this year. It's going to be awesome. Do you guys see that also? We've had more glowing previews and talk about Stalker 2, even beyond last week. More people have been talking about it, and this is starting to sound like a real actual chance to be a star of the year kind of game. I don't know if it'll win like game of the year. It's like some people are going out there, but as far as being like known as a special game, a great game, previews and early feedback from a lot of people, including those that aren't even Xbox community people that have been given a chance to play this, are going with the same kind of talk, right? Yeah. And I think it's a shame that it'll miss the game of the year kind of cutoff time, right?
Which is why it's so dumb that it's in December, because a lot of great games come out November, December time, and every single year they get screwed over because Jeff Keighley wants that freaking
Well, they've made exceptions. He's made exceptions before where there was a game that didn't come out until after the normal cutoff, but because it was available in playable state, that it still made the cutoff. And I can't remember if that was God of War or if that was The Last of Us one of those years. But
it was some Sony game, it's
rigged.
Yeah. But I think in terms of can it be nominated? Maybe. I just think there's certain types of games that the judges for these award shows like to play, and I don't see Stalker. This it could be a great game. I just don't see it like a Stalker 2 survival RPG type game making it. Just because typically what they like to see is third person action adventure. I mean, Baldur's Gate did win, which was such an anomaly. Usually, such a great game, but for the most part, I don't think it'll win Game of the Year. But it has a chance to be nominated just based on what people are saying for sure. And I've been looking at this game for quite some time. Stalker 1 was a game I played. I think Jasper played it too. It was very much it was a lot deeper than a lot of people what they might expect jumping into that game. It just has a lot of different mechanics, a lot of just like system,
very handhold. You kind of got to figure it out yourself too.
Yeah,
so.
they do not hold your hand on where to go, what to do exactly. So if that was any indicator for what Stalker 2 is going to be, then yeah, I'm sure they built upon a lot of those systems. Maybe they made it something a little bit more friendly, because I remember playing the first one like, ooh, like this is crazy. Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I looked at the documentary. If you guys have seen that, it made me more excited for the game. Just seeing what the developers are kind of going through, their passion for the game.
That's what makes me. It's so hard to place this game for me, is just because I know that some people are going to give it extra brownie points due to the situation that the devs went through, and then they're going to kind of ignore some other aspects. But then, like, you're going to have the people that don't take that into account, where it's going to be like, they'll be like, oh, I think it's like a 75, like, which is maybe where it should be, where they don't kind of have that bias from like the situation that the devs are going through. But I know that.
Well, I think
there's going to be those people that take that into effect, and it's like, I just don't know how you place this game right now. Like, I can't predict it.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I thought that the same thing, Jasper. I'm like, oh, that might give them some brownie points. But then I thought about it. It's it being on Xbox, I feel like will give that tax right back, and then it'll like balance itself out. They're like, oh, it's on Xbox. So now, I feel like that'll just push it back down.
With the positive reception from the previews, like Alvin was saying, he thinks also the narratives will also be like, the journalists will be more in their favor as well, because a lot of the conversations and a lot of the feeling towards the studio about everything that they've had to go through, right? And I agree with 100%. I think a lot of people are going to be on their side with this. I think the game's going to have to stand up for itself still. And I think it's going to. I think the game is honestly that good based on the previews that we've heard. I think these people are not just saying it because of rooting for the studios. I think it's probably legitimately awesome. So I'm wondering if, because of the positive reception from these previews, if it's possible to get consideration for the Game Awards, they would send it off to the reviewers early enough to be considered. Because if they send it to the reviewers in time before they cast all their ballots and stuff, and now it's not just by the deadline. I got to add that there, because there's like a deadline. But I think a lot of the journalists, like when they get the ballots, just fill it out and submit it, and then like, yeah, you can change it by the deadline, but like, who's going to go and do that? Like, really? So I think having the review copy out there and having people playing it, like maybe even like a week before the ballots get sent out, or to like whatever, would be more beneficial to the studio. Now, you don't have to you can still have an embargo date for after, closer to launch, right? But the journalists would already have it in their consideration at that point. So is it possible they could do that? Maybe. And it would be interesting to see. But it's release date's November 20th, right? Which falls technically after the deadline for the ballot.
Wait, so the game comes out November 20th?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the Game Awards is December like 7th or something. Right?
Yeah. So, but
Mhm.
there's like I think the deadline is usually like November 15th. I think so around then for
Yeah.
ballots.
It's like around the first or second, like no later than the second week in November, but
Yeah.
it's hovered between the 8th and the 15th.
So if they get the copies around November 1st and have a chance to play it, you know, or maybe like even late this month or something, and actually have their copy, you know, maybe they would have a thought to consider it at that point, you know. It'd just be an interesting thing to keep in consideration. I don't know if it's going to be good enough to warrant it or not, but based on the early previews, it seems like it could possibly be. You know, right? So it would be nice for it not to get excluded. One that will miss the deadline is obviously Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that comes out releases around the same time as the actual Game Awards. So,
But that was never going to be a game of the year consideration anyway. I mean, like maybe
Probably.
best action game or something. But
yeah. And this year is going to be a stout year as far as like games. I mean, Metaphor Fantasio, I think, is going to be like a
It might
shoe
be the
in for
winner.
a contender. Possibly a winner. Astrobot's going to be there. for
Astrobot's like
sure.
right next to it. Like I feel like
I think
Astrobot's
Astrobot's
probably gonna
gonna
win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Astrobot's gonna win. But if the judges would just kindly consider other opportunities, Metaphor just I started playing it.
So good, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. There's just so many games right now. I really want to get through it, but I think Metaphor is definitely up there. Astrobot's definitely up there. Dragon's Dogma 2 is probably up there.
Black
and then
Myth Wukong.
Black
Yeah.
Myth Wukong.
See, I
but
think
that's not gonna
Dragon's
win.
Dogma probably misses it.
You think so?
Black
kicked
Myth
out for
Wukong
what?
may have kicked off Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Wait, which game?
Black Myth
Myth
Wukong.
Wukong.
I think because of the controversy that surrounded that game, they'll just kick it off slightly, and then it will replace Dragon's Dogma 2. What do you guys think? Because
Which
just
controversy?
imagine all the stuff with the developer where he was basically sexualizing like the people who were he had advertisements for. Did you skip all that
For Black
Did we-
Myth?
Yeah.
I don't remember
It was
any of that.
it was like all
No.
this controversy where this guy, the main developer or something, he
I remember
had
it was
all
like
these
a
ads
racist
where
like angle people were trying to push on the game or something too.
yeah, it was
Dude,
a couple
honestly,
of stuff.
anytime any of this controversy shit comes up, I tune it out. Like I just like I literally like, oh, another controversy revolving something said or did or is something in a game. That's
It was
crazy.
weird.
Oh my god.
He basically had these ads where he was trying to attract female developers by doing some things.
Oh, okay. I
yeah,
think
it
I
was that.
vaguely remember something like that, but I don't think it was like I don't think it took off like as like a huge thing. Like maybe some of the other controversies this year. There's been so many gaming controversies this year. It's hard to keep up, bro.
Yeah.
It probably got
If not,
surpassed
then,
by the one the next week on the other game that was announced. Or somebody's
Yeah.
jawline being too big, or like a fucking like I don't know, man. Like it just depends on what people want to pick and choose on. I don't remember too much about it.
Yeah.
I don't think whatever happened with
Final
that-
Fantasy might kick it
Final
off.
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth will be a candidate. Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. I'll say Black Myth Wukong. I'll say Astrobot. Metaphor Refantasio. That's 4, right?
Maybe
now-
Stalker. We'll see.
We get into this other category of like
Oh, you
really
gotta-
popular, great games, but not as the biggest ones once you get past those.
You got to put an indie in there somewhere.
What's the indie this year? I don't think.
I think
Wait,
Animal
Animal
Well.
Well?
Animal
Yeah.
Well or Balatro.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know if
Did it
you'll
make
see
it last year? Was there an indie? Last
I don't
year?
think there was one last year.
Well, there was confusion on what defined an indie because some consider Dave
That
the
was but a
Diver
different
an
awards,
indie,
though.
but it wasn't an indie, kind of.
That wasn't in the Game of the Year conversation, though, was it? That was just like another category problem.
I can't remember. I just thought it was dumb that like I agreed with Mav where like I think all games could be nominated, but in that specific year, Resident Evil, I didn't agree. I didn't agree.
Yeah,
with that.
last year's was Resident Evil, Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario
Just
Bros.
added
Wonder,
a bunch
and
of
Baldur's Gate
sequels.
3.
Yeah.
Will they consider Shadow of Erdtree
It's
They'll
best
find.
ongoing.
Actually, they might find a way.
best
So I'll add a
ongoing?
rule.
Yeah.
Let's add a rule in there. Put Shadow of Erdtree.
I mean, The Last of Us Part 2 remake.
Oh god. They better not.
Was it Forbidden or Horizon Zero Dawn remastered remake?
They find like, did they have a new category for remakes, remaster? No.
Was
Or,
Last of Us Part 2 remake this year?
It was in January, wasn't it? Yeah, January 19th.
It's hard to keep track because they just remade.
Oh my god.
So it's Horizon and Last of Us. Was that their remakes for this year?
And
of course, for the PC
Until
stuff.
Dawn.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, Until Dawn is.
I'm hearing the Concord remake might still happen before the end of the year.
It looks like the biggest or the best Nintendo game this year was Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door.
Oh, I forgot. You
Yeah.
need a Nintendo game. in there.
That Mario Party is getting great reviews too, but I don't think
So. Stalker 2 is not making it. They're gonna put Paper Mario or something. Like Nintendo has to make it. They at least put one Nintendo game. Like at least.
It's a shame. Hellblade 2 doesn't even get a mention.
No, it's not gonna get.
I mean, Tekken 8 got a 90.
Yeah, I mean, I if it were me, I would put Tekken 8 in there.
They don't put fighting games up there.
But yeah, they won't.
They don't put fighting games, racing games. This is what I'm talking about. Like even if it's really good, that's a genre that is excluded from Game of the Year.
Call of Duty Black Ops 6 could be the best Call of Duty of all time, and it won't make
Doesn't
it.
matter. It's first person shooter.
Or
It doesn't count.
Silent Hill 2.
It definitely got a lot of nice reviews.
Yeah.
And it's recent, so.
But that one crosses the like. Was it enough of a remake?
I mean, they put.
Yes, this 2 was pretty old.
Yeah, but Resident Evils were like brand new games. You know, like completely different than the originals. Like this
Hill
one
2
is
was
like
old
they
enough.
really stayed true to it. I think. I mean, I'm not saying it shouldn't be allowed. I think it could be allowed. I'm just wondering if they will consider it for that reason.
I mean, I don't think they give a shit. Like, we'll just put whatever in there. I don't think they actually
that's true.
consider remakes or remasters. They're just like, oh, it came out this year.
Silent Hill, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and DLC can be best ongoing game.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh man,
you know
what was?
I'm gonna do my own Game Awards show in January.
You know, it would be Helldivers 2.
It could be.
It
It's
should be
great.
considered, but
What did it review though?
It was like an 81, I think. is
Okay.
what
I think it'll
saw.
miss
But,
it just because of that.
I mean, like, the only reason I said that is because I know Overwatch won Game of the Year one year. And, like, maybe since Helldivers 2 had, like a 3 or 4 month window where it was, like, kind of the talk of the town, like, maybe they'll kind of nominate that.
Calorie says yes, it's a full remake. It tried to go play Silent Hill 2, the original, this week for the first time. It's unplayable. Right on. Yeah, so if it's a full-on remake, then yeah. That's cool, man. But like, I didn't know if they're, like, a lot of the reviews I saw is like I like how much it's just like the original. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I will eventually play it, but yeah, it could be Silent Hill 2 could be in there. Be interesting. I mean, it doesn't have a fucking chance of winning.
Yeah,
like
it's not gonna win.
we're down to the categories of like, hey, you're there, but you're not fucking gonna win. You know?
Yeah. Is there 7 nominations? How many? Nominations?
Usually 6.
6. Okay.
It's really. I mean, there's several different games we could put in there, but like, sales don't matter. I see guys talking about how much the games sold.
Yeah.
I mean, Astrobot's gonna probably win. If it'll be, I think it'll be either Metaphor ReFantazio or Astrobot. If I was to pick today, right? The only other one that could be is if Stalker 2 is actually that special and makes the cutoff, then we'll see. But those games both have astronomical review scores. They're both full like darlings for the game's media, plus also all the gamers that play them. And the only one I would say is close to that for having a chance is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth this year.
Yeah, I think so. If there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6 games. Metaphor, Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Stalker 2, Dragon's Dogma 2, in my opinion, maybe, and then maybe a Paper Mario. That's
unless if Dragon Age comes out and blows people out of the fucking water, but I don't know.
Dude, Dragon Age has done that before when people were down a little bit down on it before launch, and I've seen from the previews people are really high on it, like from the games
I've
media
also
and
seen
stuff.
negative stuff about it too, though.
Yeah.
But that's mainly from the community and a certain crowd, like
Scars.
it's like the Halo fan
Like,
crowd.
It's you have the controversy people or people that don't like certain things in games and all these other kind of things, and like you have also some that are Dragon Age fans and don't like the changes. But I've always kind of seen Dragon Age as every game's been drastically different than the other one. But from the actual media previews that I saw for Dragon Age, I saw mostly a lot of glowing positivity. But I don't think it hits like the 90s or the high 80s. I think it'll probably be in like the low 80 mark, unless it like really surprises, right? But in order for a game like that to really be considered, I think it'd have to be like an 87 or higher, probably.
Wait, does Path of Exile 2 come out this year? Or is this the early access?
Early access.
Early access.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So they probably wouldn't count that, right?
No.
I mean, it says its release date is November 15th, 2024, though.
It'd be they won't make the exception for Path of Exile. Like, I think the only way they would is if Diablo was up in the same year. Then they would Keighley not liking Blizzard anymore because it's owned by Xbox would be, let's screw them by nominating Path of Exile or something like that.
Calorie says the original Silent Hill was tank controls and fixed cameras, so it was like the original Resident Evils. I remember playing Silent Hill 2 back in the day, but I wasn't like a Silent Hill lover like a lot of people were. I was more into Resident Evil, so I wasn't as familiar with the originals. If I played it, it was like via a rental over a couple days, and I probably played it,
I had a
and
demo
turned it in, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
One, I think.
Yeah. I know it's a classic to many, but like I remember other games even more than Silent Hill 2. Like there was a game on PlayStation called D. D stood for Dracula. Yeah, I love that game. It was great. I don't think it was reviewed very well, but there's that, and then all the Resident Evil games, and there was like Clock Tower. It's another game I loved back then, stuff like that. But Silent Hill was just for me. It was always like the knockoff Resident Evil kind of in a ways. That's just how I had always seen it when the games came out. I know there's their own crowd that love those games, but so I never really focused on it as much, so I didn't remember. But it's cool if they change it that much, then it could be considered. It really could be. Maybe Silent Hill 2 makes the mark.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see.
If that happens, so if Silent Hill 2, right, Black Myth Wukong, and
Metaphor, Astrobot
are all in there. There'd have to be 3 games that have been exclusive this year so far on PlayStation.
Yeah, even the Xbox is strong this year. Sony's probably going to win.
But it's because all of the Xbox great games are backloaded.
Yeah, for next year is probably the year.
I wasn't really around when Hellblade came out. What did that do?
People shat on it for not being enough of a game.
Yeah, they preferred Hellblade 1 because of the combat, because you didn't have people coming up behind you in the new one. But I actually like the new one better because it felt like you were fighting for your life in real time kind of thing. And a lot of people like the heartstrings of the first story over the second story. The second story involved more characters, so there were more, people to kind of gravitate to as far as their part in the story, but no, they're like there should have been RPG elements and more character building, and it should have had the combat like the first one, only more refined.
Yeah, people, or again, probably, in my opinion, are punishing it for not being God of War, because everyone's kept comparing it to God of War. Everyone's like, I want it to be like this. And so when they reviewed it, didn't get God of War, they're like, hey, what the heck is this? But overall, I really liked it. I mean, it was definitely an expansion of the story. I could see how people thought that, Fuzz. The first one, you were pretty much alone for most of the journey. But this one had different themes, so you kind of needed some people I won't spoil why, but for different story reasons, why you needed different people in there. And the combat and the graphics and the sound design in that game, and they need to win some award for something. So I don't know what. Maybe if they have a sound design category, then definitely that. If not sound, then something with art design or something. I think Alan Wake or something won.
Yeah.
That last time. So maybe it'll I could see Hellblade winning. Yeah. One of those categories, but
yeah, Mr. Waffle says Silent Hill was nothing like Resident Evil at all. Yeah, Resident Evil was a lot better. It was. It was a lot better. I know I have Silent Hill fans like come after me for this shit, but it's fine. Whoop kid. Whoop kid says we've seen Silent Hill as a psychological Resident Evil. Yeah, I always kind of took it as like Calorie said.
Silent Hill was first. I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
I thought I always see people like, oh, he looks like Chris or whatever from Resident Evil, and I always see other people's comments. That was after.
Did you know Silent Hill came out first?
Because they both have that emo, haircut, right. Whatever. So I always see that. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think.
Are they comparing the Silent Hill guy to Leon?
Yeah, Leon. Sorry, I said.
Well, that would be Resident Evil 2 then.
Yeah, but people say hey.
Well, so the Silent Hill character may have been first for release order.
Resident Evil came out in 96. Silent Hill came out in 99.
Yeah.
So they're wrong.
I think what they're referring to is the characters. Like the Silent Hill character was before Leon.
Resident Evil 2 came out in 98.
Okay, so they're still wrong.
Yeah, they're still wrong. Again, I wasn't sure, but good to know that
they're still wrong. That's fine.
Trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Maybe it was released only in Japan.
Yeah, it may have been a Japan thing a year earlier or something. But...
Yeah, who knows? Back then there was tons of that weird shit like that always happening.
How about Starfield? Starfield is not getting it. We know this.
So that was last year.
Well, they could do the best ongoing game because it has DLC, much like Cyberpunk.
Media hates Starfield.
I haven't played the Starfield thing, but that's between Elden Ring and Diablo.
Yeah, Starfield doesn't have a chance, unfortunately.
Poor Sea of Thieves. Poor Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, what the heck? That should have won last year.
That should have won probably the past 3 years for best ongoing game, but
they gave it to Cyberpunk or something. They made up their own. It was dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't even have many people even review the Shattered Space DLC.
Yeah.
It just didn't even get reviewed very much. The journalists, I'm surprised they didn't actually review. More places didn't review it for their clickbait.
It was one of the top either most sold or played games this month, or I believe it was this month or last month. Starfield. So it's the people are playing it. They're just okay, I'm just not going to say anything online type of vibes. So
Silent Hill 2 was a PS2 game. Right on. I don't fucking remember, man. We're talking about the late 90s. I was 13. I think so. 96 was Resident Evil, right?
Yeah.
So I was 13. then we're going into like several
like 3 months
several game releases from
I was
Resident
like
Evil and Silent
3.
Hill 2 between 96 and 2000, probably, right? They all fucking blend together, man. But I just know I thought Resident Evil was better, and I remember playing Silent Hill, but like I was like, okay, this isn't as good.
Yeah, I was
That's
like
just
3 or
what
4.
I felt like. And
so.
I didn't care about competitions between like fucking horror game franchises or whatever. I just like was a kid playing fucking games. It's like, oh, this one's not as good as this one. I like this one more. Like that's just the way I was back then, right? But hey, I understand that there's fans of different franchises. I just don't remember as much about Silent Hill 2 as I do Resident Evil. But yeah, it's a different era back then. Silent Hill 2 could win though. It could not win Game of the Year, but it could be in Game of the Year.
Yeah, it's either. I feel like now that I'm talking with you guys, Silent Hill will could be nominated, but Stalker 2 could knock it out. It really depends. I don't. It's hard to
Silent or Stalker's
that.
not going to make the cut because it comes out after.
Oh yeah, and maybe it won't make the cut.
I hope it does.
Maybe it will. If it gets like good media reception, I could see them making it.
If it gets good media reception, then I'll go ahead and say, okay, this is fill in the other 2 spots: Silent Hill 2 and Stalker 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they made an exception for like Last of Us or something. I forgot which game it was. But they made sure that Sony game got in there. So,
Age of Mythology Retold won't have a chance of doing anything there. Aura History Untold.
The only other game that like it's still going to be after the deadline, but will be Flight Sim 24.
Yeah,
not for Game of the Year though.
For best sim.
Yeah, it'll win something. And I think Hellblade 2
it comes out the 19th of November, so it's after the deadlines, right? So
yeah, Hellblade 2 has a chance to win some stuff, but it got slighted for reviews in my opinion. Like to me, that game's a 90+ game, right? It's just like did so many fucking things amazing, like above and beyond what we've seen from many other games in this generation. And people chose to focus on what kind of game it isn't as opposed to what kind of game it is. And it was like Hellblade 1, but way better. So like that's kind of what I played it. I'll tell you this, like as far as the combat goes, I was more engaged and had a lot more fun with Hellblade 2 combat than I did Hellblade 1. There was a lot more to it. The game is got a good story. Graphics are fucking out of this world, right?
Still the best graphics I've played in the game.
The blend between walking around and doing all that stuff into the combat is like seamless, right? And you get immersed into this other combat scenario where you don't know exactly what's coming next, but you kind of get the rhythm of it, and it becomes like kind of this really rhythm-based style. I don't mean rhythm as like a rhythm game, but I'm just talking about the way you feel when you're playing it, like game when you're going through the mechanics of the fighting. And once you learn that and the timings and all that kind of stuff, like it can just flow like really, really good. And you have these, as many of these moments that there are in Hellblade 2, you have new scenarios keep popping up and new animations and new actions happen that always lead to some kind of badass dramatic moment. And I'll tell you, there's not a game that's released this year that I was not addicted to the capture button as Hellblade 2. I was literally just playing and I was just capturing shit in motion while I was playing. I would just move my thumb and hit the fucking button. I got to capture oh shit. And I was like trying to time it. Like I got to capture something badass here because this is fucking crazy, bro. And I was just like, oh fuck, I missed that. But I wasn't pausing and going into photo mode. I was just fucking trying to capture shit on the fly because it was just like that epic in front of my eyes.
You were playing at like 5 frames per second.
No, it kept moving. It kept moving. But like that game was just like nothing else I've seen really, and it doesn't get enough credit for that stuff. But I will think it will for those categories at the Game Awards. But not as. But people didn't really give it credit as a complete package for this stuff, right? Yeah. So it didn't review as well as Hellblade 1 did. So for those reasons, it'll miss the boat.
I mean, Astrobot's going to win anyway, so who fucking cares?
Astrobot or Metaphor? I'm rooting for Metaphor, man.
It's either going to be Astrobot or Metaphor.
It'll be Astrobot.
It's
at least for the Keeleys.
Yeah, I mean, Astrobot. It revolutionized gaming when it came out.
What?
I'm sure it's a really fun, great platformer. I'll say it doesn't revolutionize shit though. I see all the clips, I see all the gameplay stuff for it, and it looks like Fall Guys every time I fucking see it.
Oh, I just think it looks like Mario Sunshine.
Well,
It basically is Mario Sunshine. Yeah.
the reason I say Fall Guys is because it has like the maybe Mario. The Mario Sunshine's like the only Mario game I didn't play. But as far as the level designs, like the obstacles, it like you start and you go through the obstacle course and you get to the end, right? And I was like, hey, I do that in fucking Fall Guys all the time. Like the gameplay, you're jumping over moving shit, jumping onto spinning things.
Yeah, it just looks like that. That's what I was saying. It looks like the Mario Sunshine like challenge worlds or whatever. Like you jump on the
you have
blocks.
Maybe
the
that's
water,
what Fall Guys was inspired
the
by. I don't
water
know.
jetpack thing too.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely.
But it's not a knock on it because all platformers
No, I'm
take
sure
from
it's a
each
fun
other,
game. It's just-
right? So yeah, they got to do it well.
Some
I mean, I love the first one. I thought the first one was great. So I'm probably gonna like the second one. It's just, I don't know. There's so many games out right now, so this is not my priority right now. But I'm sure I'll get to it once I get through like Metaphor and I finish the Starfield DLC. And I haven't even played Dragon's Dogma 2, and I bought it. This is like an example.
Mhm.
So yeah, a lot of games to get through before I play Astrobot.
Yeah, there's so many, dude. We're going way off course here from what I had planned on, but that's fine. We got into a huge game of the year discussion unintentionally. But that's what happens sometimes on these podcasts. We're just a bunch of friends shooting the shit, talking about games. But yeah, let's get back. There was also some other things I wanted to touch on. Did y'all see that PlayStation was going to try to get Crimson Desert from Pearl Abyss as a exclusive, but Pearl Abyss was like, nah, we're going to go ahead and do self-publishing and release the game everywhere, including Xbox. So it's interesting. Like a lot of people are just going to go and blame PlayStation for this. I don't blame PlayStation for being competitive. They can't afford to make all the acquisitions that Xbox can. So this is how they're going to try and compete. But I got to give props to Crimson Desert for not falling for that fake money, because it's going to bite your ass in the end. It's going to be good up front, but it's going to bite your ass in the end, just like it did Square Enix and all these other developers that took that money up front and ended up being, oh, our game didn't perform as well as it should have. I wonder why, right? And ultimately, they did what's best for the game and the franchise. So Sony, PlayStation, denied by Crimson Desert PlayStation. Yeah. What do you make of this, Fuzz?
I'm glad it happened for the fact that, you know, if you look at Pearl Abyss's previous one, was it Black Desert or something like that? I think it was that they had as well. There were like perks in Game Pass for some of the characters or like upgrade packs or something like that, because they have like it to my understanding it's supposed to be a free to play game, and I'm assuming Crimson Desert's going to be the same, but you can pay for like gems or something so you can upgrade your character and stuff like that. So it's good that they are going to self-publish, because then they can pocket more of the money themselves, and then they can put that funding towards their next game. But it also goes to show that maybe more devs should do that, just for the fact that, you know, having your game played everywhere puts you in front of more eyes. And you know, this story is going to generate some buzz, maybe a little negative buzz on the PlayStation side, but possibly more positive buzz for PC and Xbox in general. So we'll see. But yeah, I was looking forward to the game. It was always mentioned as a multi-platform at the time when they announced it on like Keighley's Summerfest like 2 years ago or something. So it's good that they stuck with their guns and to notice Sony's, you know, bag of money for, you know, the short term, so they don't wind up like Square down the road.
Yeah. 100%, man. It's like long-term vision, right? What about you, 3-Bit?
My first thought when I saw that, I was like, who the heck told? Like, how do we know this?
I saw a like this was going around Twitter, and it was actually had like a doc. It's like it looked like it came from a document or something, or some kind of like meeting or like financial thing where they revealed some information. Like I don't know exactly the source, but it was going around everywhere today. I meant to look for it right before the show, but I didn't have time.
Yeah, because before the FTC case, a lot of people like we would speculate like that, like, hey, Sony's money hatting these deals, and so but basically we didn't have a lot out there besides like maybe some devs here and there say, and then the FTC case kind of revealed a lot. Some leaks revealed a lot during that time period. But yeah, honestly, my first thought was like, who the heck said anything? Because Sony, the way they control the industry and the way they have partnerships and relationships with different developers, studios, I didn't think I would ever see the light of the day where a developer's like, nah, and then post about it or however it happened. I don't really know how it happened. But good for them. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not often you'll see that where a developer's like, yeah, we had a deal from Sony, we turned it down or whatever. I just think overall, a lot of third-party studios, what we're going to start seeing, honestly, is just them try to appeal to many platforms. I think that's just going to be a trend going forward. And
when
feel
does
like
it come
out? This isn't it this year? Is it not this year? Okay, maybe it's next year. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this is going to be a trend with ongoing studios of them just not trying to take these deals as much. I mean, Square still kind of being punished for stuff like that. It makes more sense if you're a first party studio. I mean, we talked about this several times. If you're a third party studio, I mean, it makes less sense to do this for that short term money investment. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I'm glad they didn't take it. I wonder who leaked it, because I don't think Sony's coming back to them after this. Like, like maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I wouldn't go, if I was Sony, I wouldn't go back to Crimson Edge. Like, hey, last time you leaked our deal on the internet.
Well, I think so. I was looking into this. Yeah, I don't know if you'd said Crimson Desert was a multiplayer game or somebody, I'm not sure, but the Crimson Desert single player, BDO was the MMO, right? But it looks a lot like BDO in the style, but it looks, it's more like a Western RPG kind of style game, which looks awesome. But so I was looking it up. So apparently it was via a blog, I think an interview in Korea, possibly. I click on the link that was provided, but all I get is a bunch of symbols that I don't know what they say or mean, because it's in, I think, Korean or one of those languages. I'm not sure. And it has a big exclamation mark with a fucking green circle around it and a gray button with other symbols. And when I click on the gray button with the other symbols on it, it kicks me off the page. So I have no fucking clue what's happening there. But somebody that did get access to this really weird, shady website screenshotted a Google Translate.
Are you just talking about like the Korean language?
Well, no, the symbols are the Korean language. I don't know. What I'm saying is I'm not sure if it's Korean or if it's another language, because I don't know enough to determine the difference between like Korean symbol versus other symbols from other languages. Like, it's just, I don't want to be wrong.
Squares, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it could be. I don't know if it's Japanese, if it's Korean, if it's Chinese or whatever. But it's like those kind of symbols, right? So it says, we were also offered an exclusive contract with conditions such as a ban on Xbox release for a certain period of time from Sony, but we decided to proceed with self-publishing as we judged that self-publishing would yield higher expected profits, right? So then they also said the game that we referenced a lot during the initial production was The Witcher 3. There are parts of the story that were also referenced Sony evaluated that a game's atmosphere and story are similar to Ghost of Tsushima, which sold over 10 million copies, is the quotes that came out that were translated. But it's interesting. They said like offered an exclusive contract with conditions such as a ban on Xbox release for a certain period of time.
That's what I was gonna go into.
Seems like Black Myth Wukong kind
was
of thing.
like maybe the deal they got offered just wasn't that great, and like depending on how far along they are in the dev cycle, like if their main platform was Xbox, because they were pretty close with Xbox, do with Game Pass deals, and I think Black Desert may have been first on Xbox. I'm not sure, but it would be interesting, like because they would have to throw all their Xbox dev time away for like a year or two, depending on however long Sony's like you can't put it over there, and then it'd be them wasting potential millions of dollars in dev time just to put it on PlayStation and then have to wait it out. Like,
yeah. I mean, I think ultimately it just comes down to like, let's see. Skywalker says language is called the Korean Hangul alphabet. Right on. Thank you for the information. I will never remember that. You've educated me, and I wish I had the memory to remember that for the next time. I don't know if the symbols I was looking at, the language I'm looking at, if that's the proper term, I'm not sure, was Korean or not. So I don't know. I could probably show it on the screen. So I don't know if it's Korean or it's Japanese. I just want to say I don't know where the publication's from because I can't read it. But this was apparently in some kind of interview is where it came from them. So it does seem like a Black Myth Wukong type situation, possibly that Black Myth Wukong did take the deal, right? Or Square Enix or whatever, they say, okay, yeah, we're gonna give you marketing, we're gonna do this, we're gonna pay you money so you don't put your games elsewhere, right? And that used to be kind of frowned upon in the industry, like last generation when Xbox did that quite a bit. But this generation, it's usually applauded upon because it is seemed as the right way for PlayStation to fulfill their lineup of games. And this is obviously what they're trying to do.
I translated that screen. The green circle, it has an exclamation mark in it, and then it says, "This is a private post," and then the black square, it says, "Back to previous screen."
That's why it kept kicking me out. Because I kept clicking on the gray square. What language was it? Was it Korean?
It's Korean. Yeah.
Okay.
If the second you open the page, Google should be like, "Hey, do you want to translate this?"
It didn't. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was using Bing.
Probably.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Come on, Microsoft.
Get those Bing points.
Yeah, that's exactly 100% why I use Bing. So Jasper's confirmed the symbols that I didn't know what the hell they were Korean alphabet language things, and I was clicking on the wrong thing, so that's why I couldn't get in. But overall, there's going to be, I think the game's going to do better because of this. I think it has a better chance with the franchise, and I just got to say props again to them for not taking the easy money up front, seeing the vision for their franchise in the future, and getting more eyes to grow your brand, right? And I think that's usually the right thing to do on these multi-plats. Now, not every developer is going to be in the position to say no, right? And if PlayStation's the only one making you an offer like that, hey, you got to take it sometimes, and that's fine. Absolutely fine. I don't have any problem with that, especially on smaller devs or like devs that are having 3-bit. Was that 3-bit's microphone? Or whose microphone was that?
That was mine.
It sounded like a whale crossing through the ocean or some shit.
Like a car driving past.
I think it was like a motorcycle or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I didn't know if a cow was in my house or if there was
My mic is ultra sensitive.
Yeah, that's great. But like, I don't hear a lot of background noise.
Do you hear my fan?
I do occasionally hear a cricket.
That's not me. Yeah.
Like, if I really listen closely, occasionally I can hear a cricket.
Well, maybe.
Listen. Let's all be quiet for a second. Cricket. Shut up. There's a cricket back there. I'm telling you, somewhere, someone has a cricket.
You sure it's your? Do you have cricket?
Is it
No.
in your house? Oh.
No. Well,
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
no, I don't hear it now.
This is your entertainment.
The cricket ran
Yeah.
away.
Anyway, we got any? Anybody else think we got any other thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's cool. More devs need to do this if they can afford it. If not,
Yeah.
take that money. Get that money.
Right.
Get that bread. That's
Or
all.
if somebody else is making an offer like Bandai Namco did to publish another developer's game and to bring it everywhere, you could also do that, which is something else that happened with was it Rebel Wolves, which is a offshoot or not offshoot, but former devs from CD Projekt Red that are making a AAA Western action RPG style game, narrative based. Is actually picked up by Bandai Namco to publish on all platforms, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. And that, I have a feeling we're going to see this game get revealed at the Game Awards because they've been kind of teasing that a little bit. And we're going to probably be pretty pleased with what we see because it seems like there's some hype around this behind the scenes from this game. So that is the other option, right? Somebody like Bandai Namco comes in to, like, let's say another developer like 2K would do with a private division, right? When they had private division running, other studios like that, like EA had the EA original or thing, or their indie offshoot and stuff like that. Sometimes they'll come out there and they'll fund games as well from different developers. So you can always go that route. Xbox does Game Pass deals and they do marketing deals as well. Like Metaphor ReFantazio got the marketing deal. So that's always an option, but they don't exclude you having to release on other places.
Like Space Marine 2 was an example, right? Where that game came out, it did got great reviews. A lot of people was vibing with it, and it didn't even make like the top 10 or 20 on PlayStation. It's like but it did on Xbox. So it's like different. You never know what's going to happen with like the people who play on Xbox. Like maybe they vibe with certain amounts of games, then people on Sony might vibe with a whole other. So that's why it's just good to just spread and figure out what's going to happen.
Yeah. Blaze RPT says we need more Red Dead Redemption type of games. Now, in which way do you mean Wild
Like
West games, or do you mean best of all time type games? Because we need more best of all time type games all the time, for sure. Red Dead Redemption is like up there in one of the greatest franchises in my opinion. But Wild West games, I 100% agree. Call of Juarez was a great game in that mold, and then they went gangster with one of them, and then they faded out after that. So the Call of Juarez Bound in Blood was an amazing game. I would like to see that come back, but I don't think Techland has any interest because they're doing more Dying Light stuff instead. But which is great franchise also.
First Dying Light was scary.
Also, the Call of Juarez IP, I think maybe, is that Ubisoft?
Think so.
Maybe, I don't know.
They publish it or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they published it.
But I think you may be right on that. Yeah. One of those deals is talking about when another publisher goes in and funds a different developer's game. Something else Ubisoft used to do a lot of. Far Cry was actually that.
Yeah.
Originally, Far Cry was Crytek's game. They helped fund. Hey, but guess what? They didn't need Crytek anymore. They kicked their asses out and they did it themselves from there on out after the original Far Cry. But anyway, so that's happening at the Game Awards. I think we'll see that game reveal. So everybody look ahead for that one. It could be pretty cool. And let's see. Was there anything else? Let's see. I had a little list actually today. We talked about Stalker. We talked about Bandai Namco. Indiana Jones also. I think we're gonna see previews of that hitting on the 29th.
Yeah.
Of this month.
Yep. Some people been playing it.
Yeah. I think the embargo date is the 29th for that, if I'm not mistaken, is what people have been putting out there. As well as this week, there may be some Fallout news because there's a Fallout event that's happening for like kind of an anniversary show and stuff for Fallout. So we're gonna see some things from that possibly this week. Yeah. So there's that happening. We're gonna have the Indiana Jones preview that are gonna have hopefully be positive. And then the other thing, this is the last thing before we get to tidbits. Spider-Man 2 DLC. They factions it behind the scenes. Now this one technically wasn't at least announced yet, but it was revealed in the leaks. So the Insomniac leaks did have them in that they were being worked on and that they were part of the cycle for Spider-Man 2. And people have been waiting a year for this news for Spider-Man 2, thinking that this was going to be
just to say it's not happening.
Yeah, and everybody was tuning into this Marvel roundtable thing at Comic-Con this past week, and all these there's some streamers streaming it, and there's people on social media all waiting for it. Now we got some cool news. Spider-Man 2 is coming to PC only a little over a year after its release. So for anybody on PC who've been waiting for it, that window is shrinking heavily from PlayStation games going on to PC. But shortly after the announcement of that, where everybody was excited, then we found that they are content complete with Spider-Man 2, are no longer doing anything else with it as far as that goes. So there was a little bit of some upset people out there. Just the people a little upset on the internet about this one.
Were they concerned?
They were
Insomniac?
They were no. They were more mad at anybody that brought it up. Like very, very triggered easily by simple jokes. But besides that, there was just go to one of the comments or one of the threads of the news, and it is like a meltdown city. A lot of Spider-Man fans out there are upset.
Look at the posts when I talked about my experience with Spider-Man 2. I've never gotten that much like hate in my DMs.
That's because you're trying to break the game.
You're intentionally breaking the game.
That's exactly the comments I got. You're breaking the game. And yeah, people were mad. Sony, Spider-Man, that's their baby. You don't talk about them.
Yeah.
Everyone knows my opinion on the Spider-Man games. So
yeah.
One
guy was like, "How dare you? Don't you know everything that they went through with the leaks? Why would you say anything like that?" All I said, I made a joke. I said that Spider-Man 2 DLC, I hear looks a lot like Factions. And like, I was just a joke, right? But the guy was like, "How dare you? How could you do this? Don't you know? Like, you make fun of them after everything they've been through with the leaks, you fat bitch." And
wow,
like, whoa, man. Okay, wow. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, guy. Like, man, like it was like people were that upset about this. I mean, they are going off the fucking rails.
Wow.
They're going off the rails on this. Like, it really upset. Like, just look, if you want some entertainment from some actual PlayStation fans that are upset about PlayStation for once, not the ones that are on the podcast are gonna pretend to excuse this and stuff, but like the actual people that play the PlayStation games, that are the crazy fuckers on Twitter and stuff sometimes that like send the death threats and stuff like that, go or send dick pics, go to one of the Spider-Man 2 news threads and just fucking read. You will have a great day. It'll be a great day for you. Promise you. It's a good break from all the politics on social media right now.
And hey, that day and date, it's getting closer.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Windows shrinking. People said it'll never be less than 2 years.
Never say never. Was it MLB developer learn that the hard way?
Yeah.
When's it coming to Xbox? Never.
Actually sells. I mean, I don't know if this is completely true. It's selling better on Xbox, or at least like making some.
I want to say for 21 and 22, it definitely did. I'm not
Yeah.
sure for 23 and 24 yet, but
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
more
heard.
played. We'll
Yeah, Game
say
Pass.
that at least. It's definitely more played on Xbox now.
So which is very interesting to me, being that there's more people on PlayStation. I mean, with that conversation, it's just like it just goes to show you like what I said earlier about Space Marine 2. More people, you never know. Like Sony may have the more popular console, but sometimes people just gravitate towards certain things more on Xbox as opposed to on PlayStation. But
See, I would argue for this case.
Mhm.
Game Pass Ultimate subscribers to be wanting to pay the $20 plus per month are probably people that play a shit ton of games and aren't just solely focused on playing one game or one franchise, and they like lots of different kinds of games and play lots of different genres, and they're willing to try things out and stuff. And I bet there's a lot of players that have been willing to try out MLB The Show just because it's in Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and found out, hey, this is a great time. I looked at my stats. So now I've always been to the show, the player. I've always loved the franchise. But I looked at my stats like what was it, last year, I think, or maybe the year before. I can't remember. But on Xbox, because last year, the year before, it was my most played game. And I didn't even realize it. You know, I just was playing the shit out of it, like kind of as my like go-to game, like when I'm not playing something else, right? And you just like want to pick up something for a little while or whatever. And it's a great franchise, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me just because the amount of games that Game Pass players play.
Yeah. My most played game, I didn't even realize it was around the year where Xbox did that online thing where you could play and look at your stats in the Avatar world and stuff. It was like WWE 2K 23 or something like that. It said like something like 400 hours. I was like, what? I play it that much? Like I didn't even realize. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. In terms of like what Sony, what they're gonna do, I feel like that window is gonna shrink a little bit. A lot of fans were mad about Spider-Man being offered on PC. I feel like I understand a little bit of the anger in terms of like Insomniac kind of offering less and less as their games go along. I mean, they did have some layoffs, which was crazy to me because they are carrying Sony right now in terms of first-party content. I would not lay off anybody at Insomniac, but they also are spending a ton of money on these games. Like Spider-Man 2, there's no reason why it should be that much money. So it sucks. They canceled the DLC. They planned 2 different DLCs internally. It was like the Beetle Invasion and something else.
Well, that's probably a good thing because who the fuck cares about that? But
I mean,
we want
not
Venom.
you, Jasper. Venom, like I guess Venom is probably going to be one of those Miles Morales situations where they make it a full game. If you played Spider-Man 2, spoiler alert, you can play as Venom. They already have the movement mechanics. They already have the animations in there. So they already have the city. So I said this before with Spider-Man 2, thinking it'll be cheaper having all that stuff. But apparently with Insomniac, it could go either way. Maybe it'll be more expensive than Spider-Man 2 for some reason. Who knows?
Yeah.
They really did all the mocap.
When
redo.
We're not completely done with Spider-Man 2 because probably around the launch of PS6, whenever that is in a few years, there'll be Spider-Man 2 remake or remastered or repeated edition like they did last time, like when they changed the actor. Repeated.
Yeah.
Repeater.
The collector's edition.
Instead of the replacer, the repeater. Anyway, yeah. Repeater. Love it.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Remember they changed Peter last time.
Yeah.
They did. He looks worse. He looked way
You
better.
think so?
Before. Yeah.
They made him younger, didn't they?
They try to make him like a blend between Tom Holland and something. But before, I don't know. He looked more like the actor before, and I don't know. That was just a weird decision, but hey, they did it.
Yeah, they did. They did it. All right, so we got Tidbit still.
Also, in other news, like I didn't know this was a thing. I just saw it today. But there's this show called Secret Level coming out, and it's gonna have 15 different
yeah.
video games.
Oh,
like
yeah.
They revealed
Don't have
that.
Concord.
They revealed
Yeah,
that at
one of them is
Gamescom, I
Concord.
think.
But it's made by the people that make Love, Death, and Robots. I know 3-Bit's big into
Yeah.
that or whatever. But
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I know it has. I think it has Warhammer in there.
yeah, it has Warhammer. It was up there. Pac-Man, Mega Man, Armored Core, Spelunky, Outer Worlds 2. That's some of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
New World's gonna get a little show in there.
I will not be commenting on that.
Concord's going to have an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really interesting.
It's going to be great. People are going to be excited for that one.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it lasts longer than the game.
It will be watchable longer than the game's will be playable. So that's a given. Let's roll into this next segment, the last segment here on FSP. All right, this is Tidbits, where we look ahead at the games releasing for the week. Now, we might breeze through some of these.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot of them are PC early access too. This is this one's not early access, but it's coming to PC this Tuesday. They don't have a price listed, but I believe this is going to be around either $29 or $39.99. It's called Axis Unseen.
Right on.
And
Looks
I
pretty
was
cool.
referring to a sequel, not a brand new AAA.
So this
This is
looks.
awesome.
This is from the developer that was like former Bethesda dev. This looks like that game.
Oh yeah, I think you may be right.
It looks like the same game when that was.
I know what you're
shown.
talking about.
It was like a one-man project, like or some shit like that. Like, but it looks big and crazy. Looks good. How much is it, Fuzz?
They didn't show a price, but I'm believing this is going to be either $29.99 or $39.99.
Right on. Looks good.
Yeah.
Let's roll into the next one. Streets of Rogue 2.
Yes. In early access on PC only at the moment. This one will be $29.99.
In a vast, randomly generated open world. With this
Any fans of the first one?
Our goal is to create the most
I don't even
open-ended,
remember the first
fun
one.
sandbox experience ever.
This looks like a 3-bit game.
The ultimate freedom of choice that made
old
the
GTA.
original game a
You can
gold
ride a
mine.
dog or a bear
In
or
Streets of
something.
Rogue 2, your mission is to overthrow a corrupt president of a small country, either solo or with friends via online co-op. How you reach your goal is completely up to you.
Interesting.
Assemble a mercenary army and plan a coup. Stage
Yeah, it's
a
pretty much like
zombie virus
isometric, like pixel-y GTA, kind of.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
with
that sounds
survival
like-
elements.
Ignore the main quest. Pick from a diverse roster of playable character classes, each
It's
with their
it's
own unique
new age game soup.
Yeah. It looks like The Escapist, kind of.
glorious bastards. Hacker,
Interesting.
chef,
It looks pretty
accountant,
good. I know there's a lot of fans for these kind of games.
ninja.
Next, let's move into the next one. Crow Country.
Now we saw this one last week
yeah.
as well, I believe, but it's finally coming to PS4. I don't know why it's like a week later, but it's priced at $19.99, coming to PS4 this Tuesday.
Okay, so we saw this one last week. Next, Wildermyth Console Edition.
Yes. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Switch this Tuesday for $24.99.
I was just a strong-shouldered farm girl once. I had long black hair.
Sure,
that
Mom, but what about
Turn-based tactics
when
style.
the Gorgons came?
yeah, and you saved the town.
Well, we fought the Gorgons together. Your father was
The
there.
Gorgons.
Oh, it's also,
We were
I guess it's like a choose your
kids.
adventure or whatever,
Shy,
because you could like choose to
bookish,
Yeah.
fight
of
there.
course. But
This looks
that
pretty
day,
cool, man.
He did magic. So I was a warrior. Folks called him a mystic. We chased those stone-eyed gorgons past the hills. To
Games like
places
this are
where
dangerous because you'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna check this out, and then like you just get addicted into the mechanics of the, you know, the next thing to the next and the next.
2 days later, you're like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't.
Some hunters
Then it's like
Any other games.
Act 1
fought like
complete.
him, and that made 3 of us.
And you were called heroes.
All right, let's move. Kate's saying, can you tell Mav he has a wife waiting? Yeah, let's go on to the next one. This one, yeah, looks good. How much was this? $19.99?
$24.99.
Oh, okay. 24. That's not bad.
You make
Yeah.
choices.
Looks great.
Not everybody cares about quality.
Oh, ad. Hey, what's up, man? was that the? Did I skip one on accident?
I think so.
Yeah, you did.
The one before is linked banner
here we go.
of the Spark. Early access,
Excellent.
also PC only at this time for $29.99.
Linked banner of the Spark.
Fuzzy bot.
This is Astrobot 2. No, it's not. No, it looks pretty cool. I remember seeing this before.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like Recore mixed with Astrobot, mixed with Ratchet and Clank,
Yeah.
mixed with Diablo. I don't know. I don't know why I said the last one.
I like this. I'm liking this style.
Man, survival mechanics.
Mm-hmm. And base building.
It's like Animal Party, but oh, let's remember. I like the music in this one. Oh, read it again. I know words are hard. If you can't tell, Mav has a wife waiting on him. Oh, I thought you said if you can tell Mav he has a wife waiting. Okay, thanks, babe.
Dang. What's this on?
This is only on PC in early access right now.
Okay.
This looks pretty fun, man.
Yeah.
It's got fishing. It's got fishing.
All right. This next one is for MetaQuest 3. It's Batman Arkham Shadow.
Is there any VR fans in the chat?
I've been hearing a lot about this game.
I'm sure this is awesome. If you like VR, like why can't we get an actual fucking Batman game? It's cool for VR players.
Yeah.
Who's voicing it? I'm guessing Troy Baker.
I don't know. This will probably be one of the more popular VR games. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, you get to be Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So MetaQuest is, and this is how much? 60, I'm guessing.
I'm assuming this is $59.99. They don't have a price listed. I hate when they say, "Oh, just add it to wish list." It's
Do they
like, just
charge
tell me
that much
how
for
much
VR
it
games?
is.
Yeah, if I had a VR and I cared about VR and I wanted to play VR, this would be one that I would be interested in. But none of those things check my box. So next, Fear the Spotlight.
PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC this Tuesday for $19.99.
Oh, it's a Blumhouse game.
Nah, it's totally empty.
Oh yeah, they have like their whole something else. I don't know if you saw that announcement. They have their own publishing
Yeah, I
arm
saw
for
that.
games now.
With hands entwined and hearts
Ouija.
aligned, we seek the realm of the undefined.
Oh, but you need to do that in your house, see if it's haunted.
But make sure you do it next to your microphone
Actually show
Yeah.
I'll protect you.
and record it, please.
This is what I need to do in my house, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
this
a
looks pretty
perfect game
cool.
for this month.
I like how it's like the PlayStation 1 like visuals.
Yeah.
Basically, a Silent Hill look.
Hello?
Oh, it's 3-bit's phone.
All right. No disrespect to the games. I just got to breeze through it this week.
Yeah.
Torn
Banner.
Banner Studios.
Oh, No More Room in Hell 2. Early access on PC this Tuesday for $59.99.
Oh, I played this. Maybe I played the older one. This is not out yet, right?
It's coming to early access Tuesday. Or
Okay,
tomorrow.
so I guess I played No More Room in Hell 1.
Is this VR?
It's
First
not
one isn't.
supposed to be.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, first one was pretty good. It was fun. It was very hard.
Yeah, I don't know how I wasn't familiar with this game, with how good it looks. You know what franchise I would like to see come back that I feel like didn't get its just due because it launched on the Wii U originally was Zombie U.
Zombies.
Oh yeah.
That could have been a great franchise that had it been able to keep going. It did get a new release on other platforms after.
Didn't they
But,
rename it to like Zombie
it's
Eye
just-
or Eye Zombie?
It's just, yeah, it's like zombie with 2 eyes at the end or some shit. But like back then it wasn't like a new game. Everybody had lost interest in it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, if that had been able to keep going,
It was
man,
one of
that'd
the
been
games
awesome.
with gold games when the Xbox One first came out.
Yeah, that's a fucking awesome game.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do this little trick, Rick. Oh, wait, that new chicken
Sandwich,
Big
that
Mac.
looks good.
Oh my God, McDonald's.
I've been
That's
hearing.
Popeyes, bro.
You guys heard about that Big
No,
Mac
that was-
chicken thing?
That was Popeyes.
I thought that was a Big Mac chicken.
All right, this next one is Wilmont Works It Out, I believe. Coming to PC this Wednesday for $29.99.
Man, remember when games all used to skip fucking Call of Duty week? It was like
Well,
What's up with
also
all
these
these
games
games?
don't really give a shit.
Everyone's
about Call of
that's
Duty.
true. Yeah, this is where, like all the smaller indie games
Indie,
released
yeah.
because all the other big games except for one are releasing
Yeah.
or skipping. I mean,
Mm-mm, I
It's a
would
nice
not play
little
this game.
puzzler.
Would not do it.
mm.
I would like start it, go in the main menu, and look at the screen and be like, nah.
What platforms is this releasing on?
Just PC for right now.
Okay,
Yeah, this is not my type of game.
Wilmot works it out. All right, Grimguard Tactics.
All right, this is only a mobile game at this point in time.
Oh, really?
Android and iOS. Free to play this Wednesday.
I can tell.
Spend real money with in-app purchases.
Who's the developer? Do we know?
I can't remember.
We'll find out in a second. No, we won't.
Apparently.
From the unknown.
All right, this one's
Maybe we
pretty
just watch
cool. Zero Seaver. Coming
Ooh.
to PC Wednesday for $17.99.
Getting like Hotline Miami vibes slightly a little bit.
It probably feels really good, but that small reticule like bothers me for some reason.
And Zakov.
I would totally play this
One.
game. Is this
So
a
it's-
co-op?
It's Tarkov, but
Yeah,
isometric.
yeah. A small extraction shooter.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would play it. Is this releasing everywhere? Or PC? Just PC, right?
Just PC right now.
Of course.
Okay. There goes
Hey.
mine.
Gamers, go ahead and get your fucking PCs. Everything's PC
You
only.
might need
it
a
seems.
4090 to play this one.
Yeah,
Is this
ray
gonna
tracer.
be? It's not gonna come out until the PS5 Pro really takes off. Did y'all see Vampire Survivors getting a PS5 Pro enhancement?
Yeah. All right, this one is Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. Coming to PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC.
They rose to action whenever fiends would set upon us.
Vampire Survivors might be the
$49.99.
only
However,
8K game
over time,
PlayStation
their
gets.
power continued to grow unchecked. And sure enough,
8K on a PlayStation.
return they did.
Revenge of the Seven.
Revenge of the Sith? Oh, it's
I
Harry
shan't
Potter.
betray their trust. I vow to protect the people.
This was a
who
franchise I
fight for
remember way back in the day.
The people yearn for a strong country and a brave emperor to lead them.
I believe that everyone.
Yes,
has a
really,
rightful place.
Alvin.
Your hands are absolutely
I don't know what he's wait reeling about.
I think he's like, wait, Romancing Saga 2? Wait, really?
These memories
Yeah.
I
I think this is real.
devote my life to the good of Avalon, so that the destiny of our imperial forebears may one day be fulfilled.
Believe it.
This was in the glory days of JRPGs when there was like every year there was like several great ones coming out. This was when I remember Romancing Saga from.
What's this on?
Just PlayStation, Switch, and PC right now. No Xbox.
Skip.
Yeah.
This is Flint, Treasure of Oblivion, coming to PS5, Series X and S, and PC this Thursday for $39.99.
It's a pirate game. Is it a good one? Probably not, because they never are.
What did you think of the partner preview show, Jasper?
Didn't watch it.
Well,
Awesome.
there you go. That's your problem, yeah. It was a pirate game there. Could have.
What's Sea of Thieves?
The Yakuza game.
Oh,
It has
Who's going to fire?
it has better ship combat than Skull and Bones.
Yeah. So let's go.
Yeah, this doesn't look like it has.
Is there any? Okay, there's gameplay footage coming up.
And they didn't see the end of me.
Where's this releasing? Tactics game, CRPG style.
PS5, Series X and S, and PC.
Right on. I like these kind of games, man. It's like what's the other fucking? What's the other franchise that made by the Baldur's Gate devs that was really good?
Pillars of Eternity?
No.
Yeah, Yakuza.
I fucking love this game. I can't fucking think of it for some reason. Mine's going blank.
Kiwami is the best one, by the way. Just saying.
Something Sin. Is it something? I think I know which game you're talking about, but isn't it something like it has the word
Valerian.
Sin in it?
I think so. My mind's like so blank, dude. I can't fucking think right now.
Well, this game, Yakuza Kiwami, is coming to Switch finally for $19.99 this Thursday.
Divinity
That's
original
what I was
sin.
thinking,
Yeah, Divinity 2 and 1. Yeah, that's that same kind of style, more or less.
I was like,
Baldur's Gate's
Pillars
also
of Eternity,
like
but
that, but
What is happening? I mean, I already beat this game. Is this re-releasing or something?
Just coming to Switch.
Oh.
hey, yeah, cool.
Meet Kumar is like, why does it look so ugly? That's why.
This next one is the Smurfs.
Oh my god.
Dreams coming to PS4, PS5,
I
Switch,
think
and
the last time I
PC.
was here, we had like really on the show.
Yeah, like it was
we
like
had Smurf racing.
By liberating the Smurfs trapped in
Still
their
have I challenge Mav to 1v1 Smurf race. Oh,
Astrobot.
Astrobot.
Smurf fast.
That's gonna become the thing now.
Smurf high. And Smurf with style.
What's the best Smurf game of all time?
Also, like, how do we have this many Smurf
Looks like
games?
they
Is
could
this
beat it.
even a relevant IP anymore?
That's what I was saying the last time we got the kart racer. I was like, why pick that?
Before we get Banjo Kazooie, like, come on.
Way through.
I mean, this looks solid. Platformer, right?
Yeah, I know.
Revolutionizing the platform genre by new platforming mechanics, just like every other platformer that ever comes out.
Smurf solo.
We get this, but not Banjo. That's messed up.
Where's
This
Smurf
looks
at?
like Mario Wonder. Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it actually looks really fun. I'm not even gonna
It
lie.
does.
Dive
Oh, there's Smurfette.
deep.
This looks way more high quality than I expected.
Yeah.
Is making this.
Oh, wait, did it get sold on a Smurfs game? Is this coming everywhere, chat?
It went all
Not
for
Jasper.
first game.
Ozzy?
It is actually coming to Xbox as well. So
Okay.
basically all next-gen consoles and PC.
Oh, wait, is the highlight of this fucking week besides Call of Duty going to be the Smurfs game?
Like
What the fuck?
Goat Simulator 3 is finally coming to last gen, PS4 and Xbox One this Thursday for $29.99.
I was like, no.
We've
This
seen
next-
Goat Simulator 3 so many times.
If you guys see a billboard, just know I made it.
This one is Windblown. It's early access on PC for $29.99.
I like the style.
Yeah. This is a roguelike.
Mm-hmm.
I like the beat.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Why do they keep high-fiving?
Shoot it into the tornado. Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Yeah, this looks very interesting. I'm vibing.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks quality.
This one's called Windblow something.
Windblown. This is early access.
There you go, Zach Riley.
Or was he talking about another game?
Oh, yeah, which game are you talking about?
Is that Windblown early access release trailers with it?
Yeah.
October 24th.
Nice.
All right, this next one is Slay the Princess, the Pristine Cut. This is coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, as well as Switch and PC this Thursday for $17.99.
We know. Then why are you hesitating? What are you doing?
Is your job the whole game to murder a girl in front of you? Like,
oh,
there's a twist. She's a dragon.
I'm loving the hand-drawnness.
They're dancing with wolves.
Playing charades over here.
What the heck is the gameplay though? Is it like a text type game?
Can't do this. You're going to damn everyone if you
It's only on Switch.
I refuse to let her get the last word in.
No, it's pretty much coming everywhere.
Oh, okay.
PS4, 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, PC, and Switch.
Zach said one of his friends loves Slay the Princess. I never played it though. Well,
Shinosuke.
What the fuck is wrong with
Shin-Chan, Shiro, and the Coal Town. Coming to Switch and PC this Thursday for $39.99. This one was a hard one to find because the only video I could find, I had to go to the actual site in Japan to get the video.
how do I know this? Is this an
If
anime?
you've seen this anime, Shin-Chan is fairly popular.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, he looks super familiar. I couldn't put my finger on. What I will give credit on, it's like doing a pretty good job blending the 3D stuff with the 2D. Like the art. But his face always looks so weird to me. Like, what the heck is he? Amy says, yeah, it's a popular character in Japan. Isn't this the butt anime? Is this the butt anime? This is Mav's game of the year.
It's not. Shin-Chan, Shiro, and the Coal Town.
All right. Okay. Next one is probably the biggest one on this list. Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC this Friday for $69.99.
Oh yeah, it is, Zach. This is gonna be so good.
I kind of wish this was next gen only, but hey, those that are still on last gen,
we believe in generations, Fuzzy. Gotta keep it out, keep it going.
I forgot we have a big game releasing this week. Maybe we spent a long time talking about this one earlier. Yeah, this is going to be a big deal.
Dang, this looks so good. See that movement where you can like now just kind of, I don't know, it just looks so slick. You kind of like lay down and do the Omni movement thing.
Play
Oh,
day
yeah, we're
one
gonna
with
start
Game
seeing day
Pass.
one Game Pass.
There was still 2 more games on that list.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
My bad.
And they were actually
Oh.
probably the other bigger ones.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. I thought that was the last one. Hold on. I'm getting it back. My bad.
He's like, all right, we've seen Call of Duty. That's it.
All right, this next one is Sonic X Shadow Generations. Coming to Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. And that's this Friday for $49.99.
I heard from this game that Keanu Reeves is voicing Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty. Did they get the other Sonic guy to voice Sonic as well, or it's just a normal?
I don't know.
I don't know.
3 hedgehogs?
Yep.
I will
Looks
be getting
good.
this game. We'll be getting it.
I think some reviews may have already come out for this today.
Oh, how are they looking?
I don't know, but I saw on YouTube that like Kind of Funny was like doing one of their like live review things for it. I'll check Meta real quick while this is playing.
Looks like it has like
it has an 80 based on 53 reviews, which is good for Sonic.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I will be getting that.
It has 53 reviews on PS5 and 1 review on Xbox.
Of course.
Wise X Nordics, PS4 and 5, Switch and PC for $59.99. Coming this Friday.
Nordic. See, there you go, Jasper. Here's your pirate game.
Yeah, but I still asked for a good one.
A pirate. One false move, and you might be my next kill.
Oh, they mocap the characters. This looks straight up like the Black Flag combat. I wonder if they'll do it good too. So this is a year of the pirate. A lot of piratey games.
Looks great. And they're releasing everywhere?
Just PlayStation, Switch, and PC.
Ah, screw it. I hate it.
All right. We're done with tidbits. All right, everybody. Yeah, it is a solid week. I forgot about Sonic launching this week when we're doing the thing there. Yeah, overall, I mean, Call of Duty is a big one. Lots of smaller games. Smurfs look surprisingly good. And
what the heck? Honestly,
it's hard for me to say that.
That was probably the best looking game. What the heck? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Smurf team.
Yeah.
Really
way to
good.
go. Looks Smurftastic. Smurftastic. All right, so let's get everybody out of here. Appreciate you all in the chat. You guys rock. Thanks for being here tonight on Fun Speculation Podcast. Jasper, you're gonna be home for the week. Are you gonna be back here anytime this week? You think? We'll see.
Yeah, should be back Friday.
Cool.
I would think so.
Nice.
And then after that, I don't know again.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, thanks for being here, man. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Lord Jasper Twitter. That's the easiest way to keep in touch with me. Or I guess, that or message YouTube. I don't know. Follow me there. Do whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right on. Appreciate you, bro. 3-Bit. What about you, sir?
Everyone can find me on Twitter at i3bit. I will be having Pixelated Echoes on Sunday with Fuzzy here as my co-host. I might do some streaming actually this week of like this horror games. We'll see. Honestly, like past few days I've been working like crazy. Like I worked from 6 a.m. all the way up until this show, for example. So
Yeah.
crazy day. So it was just a kind of a relief. Talk about games, take a little break from animating all day. But yeah, great show, everybody. Everybody in chat, you guys are awesome. And we'll see you guys on the next show, and hopefully no ghosts will attack me in my sleep. So bye, y'all.
Absolutely. I hope you wake up, there's a big ass ghost next to your face. You're like, ah!
A great lady just at the end of your bed while you're sleeping.
What about you, Fuzz?
Oh, just awesome show tonight with you guys. Love doing this. Thanks everybody in the chat. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. For those that want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming related, just follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at fuzzy_Belvedere. You can also find me on Breakfast with Boom, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Double Barrel Gaming on Friday. And then later that same day, Fright Night with Ferocious Fee with my wife at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then at 9 p.m. on Friday night, right back here for Xbox Ultimate. Hope to see everybody in the chat there that night. Look forward to seeing you then. Thanks.
Right on, man. Appreciate you as well. And hope everyone has a great night as well. Thanks to audio listeners. If you catch us on audio, hey, leave a review for the show. It greatly helps us. And everybody else that was here, thanks for the support and checking out our content. Be back Thursday for PM in the PM at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We may have a guest Thursday, so keep an eye out for that. Also, Friday, Xbox Ultimate Podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern. Peace out, everyone. Have a good one, and take it easy. Bye.
Bye.
Wait.